everybody, and welcome to Dyer's Place. Tonight, we are doing the Homestar Runner stream. With me, as always, is Mike.
Hello.
Thank you, Homestar, for introducing Mike for me. Yeah, it looks like Snarp
Well,
is here.
there he is. I
Yeah.
am no Matt Chapman, but I think I can do a reasonable facsimile of most of the voices. But they would sound like cheap ersatz versions nonetheless. So I'll try and keep it to a minimum.
I have absolutely no idea how I could, how well I am at imitating any of them.
Hmm.
Oh, I got a storm blowing in, huh, Snarp? That sucks.
I know for a fact all three of us hate thunderstorms, but some people apparently like them. I don't get that. You can lose your fucking power. What's the positive value in them?
Good question. Speaking of which, I'm going to check my own area just to see what or may or may not be up tonight. Let's take a look. According to this, I need to click on more. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Rain possible around 9:30.
That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
No. So anyway, but well, we're glad you're here, Snarb. I can say that.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep. Especially since no one else seems to be on right now, and I don't know how many people in our circles are huge Homestar fans like us. So
well, I guess
I
we'll.
don't know.
Well, tell me how you think Mo's here.
Oh hey Mo, what's up?
Well, Mo is going to be learning about Homestar tonight through osmosis of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, I will say up front, maybe there's a little bit of a you had to be there factor about it in the 2000s, but I still think it mostly holds up for the most part. I hope so.
All right, so let me try doing an imitation of the character I have here. See how well I do. Hey, Steve!
Not bad, not bad.
Excellent. Yes, my character is A. Steve, who was created by Strong Bad when he was asked to come up with a crazy cartoon. Now, what about you, Mike? You are. It looks like you have some good graphics going on there.
As freaking obscure as I could think of for this one, and I just picked out one of my oddly favorite gags. There's a fictional video game company within the universe by the name of Vidalectrix, which is only ever focused on good graphics, despite the fact that their works usually aren't above 2600 esque graphics for the most part. I mean, I guess they get bigger eventually, but well, at any rate, they're the in-house game company, and they have made many games which you can't actually play. And one of them is a sort of adventure game by the name of Where's an Egg, where you're working for some Soviet or Slavic country as a detective, and you must find the egg from the person who stole it. If you falsely accuse, i.e., shoot three people, and you don't get the egg, you're then sent off to a gulag and you become a skeleton, and that's where my guy's from.
Yeah, the gulag.
Yep.
And as you can see on the background down below, we have a picture of the primary cast.
Uh huh.
Now, there are a few more
All 12 of
characters.
them.
Yep, but these guys. Well, since we got Mo here and Mo doesn't know anything about Homestar to speak of, why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about each one?
Oh
Uh,
yes, gladly. Should we step back a bit and actually say what Homestar is first, or I don't know?
that might actually be a better idea. You know more about the history of Homestar than I do, so why don't you take
Best
point on this?
Sure, best I can think of. Two brothers, Mike and Matt Chapman. They're longtime creatives who, at some point offhand, they made a children's book called I think it was Homestar Runner Goes for the Gold, was it? Or no, I'm not sure if that was the one, but
It was something
well, they
they
made a
they tied it in with the
what was it?
Olympics, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It was related to one of the Olympics, although I couldn't tell you which one. I
I
guess
think it was
1998 or 2000.
in Atlanta, whenever that one was,
Oh, okay.
because they're
Well,
from Georgia, if I remember correctly.
oh yeah. Well, I don't follow the Olympics for crap, but yeah, no, they just made a children's book offhand, and oh, 96. Thanks, Mo. And hey there, Sharon.
Yep, Sharon's here too. She's
But
just as an aside, she's begrudgingly heard me go on about Homestar for a little bit.
good, you have tried. I appreciate it. But yeah, so Brothers Chaps, Mike and Matt made a children's book featuring some very quirky characters in it. And you know, they just did so, I guess, for the hell of it. I don't know what motivated it in the first place, but I guess they thought their character designs were at least interesting enough that they you know, wanted to make a larger series out of it. And hey, you know, in a few years this internet thing really caught on, and hey, why don't we you know, make some tunes that we can put up on the internet that other people can see and laugh at
weren't some of
and or
their
with.
weren't some of their earliest tunes that they made actually on Mario Paint?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I guess they had the ideas for Homestar and their and his weird universe in their heads for a while, and they did do some art and animations on Mario Paint, the SNES application slash game. But you know, I mean, I couldn't tell you like exactly where they drew Homestar from, like whatever inspiration influenced his character and several others. Although there was a game by an earlier game by Data East called Tag Team Wrestling that, for the most part, was pretty not good, but it was notable because like the enemy wrestlers that you go up against there are known as the Strong Bads, and they thought that was funny enough to make a character by the name of Strong Bad and have him in there as Homestar's primary rival. He is, of course, the red and black faced Wrestleman. Homestar himself is the white guy, white, red, white, and blue character with the beanie and the long legs.
And the star on his shirt. Don't forget that.
Yes, hence the star. And he is a terrific athlete, or
Yep.
so they say. Um, and yeah, they somehow, I guess, just through word of mouth, making the tunes that they did, Mike and Matt actually started to accrue something of a fan base that, I mean, it started out pretty dry at first, but you know, as the series tunes went along, it, later on they got wackier, and in my opinion, that was actually to a better extent. I think, like I learned about it when it was really catching on. I distinctly remember it was 2002. My brother had actually introduced to me this quirky site that his friends at college actually thought was pretty fun, and that was where I learned about Homestar. Excuse me. That's where I learned about Homestar, and I thought it looked interesting and pretty silly and pretty adorable. I mean, I admit I like cute things,
And
but
if I
yeah.
recall correctly, you introduced me to Homestar through the Strong Bad email video games.
Wow, did I do that?
I'm
Holy
pretty
shit.
sure you did. I, in turn, introduced my daughters to it, who to this day still love Homestar.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, the thing about Homestar is that it's just very viral. And hey there, Jay, what is up?
Yeah, what's up, Jay?
You feeling better from last weekend, by the way? You sounded pretty down and out there. But but yeah, Homestar just had this almost viral quality to it, and with the internet spreading the way it did in the 2000s, Web 2.0 and whatever taking off, and Adobe Flash, which was the program that the brothers Chaps had run Homestar on, serving as such an easy to use tool that its quirky art style and sort of mostly family friendly, but kind of sort of almost college targeted gags went places, and like they draw from so many sources that are especially nerdy. Lots of video game references that I caught up on. I can't believe that the TurboGrafx 16 was referred to in the Teen Girl Squad once.
What?
But
they ain't got no TurboGrafx games?
Just exactly. Oh, I guess Babbage's is dead now. But it felt like it was aimed very much at me and people like me, and it became kind of a sensation. It became the gold standard almost for like web animation content. Like, I don't want to put down Newgrounds, but this was a cut above like most fan submissions that would go over to that site.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of snobby though, but
Newgrounds had its time and place.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. It has caught something of a resurgence among artists lately, from what I understand, so that's good. But yeah, no. Homestar has just been a very formative part of my teen years. Me too, Mo. Holy crap. Homestar's been a formative part of my teen years, and I'm glad that I've gotten to share it with as many people as I have. Of course, my brother has always been a fan since he was the one who introduced me to it. But hey, I even got my mom to really like the series. She thinks that it is very adorable and silly. She especially likes the Cheat, who's a little yellow mascot to the right of Strong Bad, who looks like a cheese or an anvil.
Now, I really wish I could say the same about Betty, but she's not into it.
You tried and unfortunately bounced off her every time you did, so...
Yeah, although it's not even the weirdness, because she likes stuff like salad fingers.
Yeah, that's... Oh, hey, Tex, what's up?
Yeah, hi, Tex. How's it going?
Hey, thank you for joining us. I even have a Kick the Cheat doll, actually. I'm sure the battery on it's gone by now. They actually re-released the Kick the Cheat to actually have a zipper in it that allows you to replace the battery much easier instead of having to like do surgery on them. But...
In fact, if you look down at the video description, I did link to the main site, which you can go to, and their store is located there. So if you want your own Kick the Cheat, there you go.
Yep. They have lots of merch. I have gotten quite a bit of it, but Mike and Matt are independent artists, so I have no qualm supporting them. They did. They did eventually move on to other projects that were probably more profitable for them, but I thank them so much for having a formative impact on my own humor and the potential of the internet, which is just not being explored at all now. But
I appreciate that, Jay.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it as well. But Homestar made the 2000s more tolerable for me at a time when I felt pop culture was kind of sinking into a nadir of sorts. But that's mostly a different subject, so I won't go into it. Anyway, I think that's enough on the sort of formation of Homestar that I can think of. I wish I had more actual historical details to give of how it came about, but that's just what I can say from my view.
It's okay. I think you've rambled enough.
Yes, I have. I'm surprised you didn't even quack me once.
You were having fun, besides just the two of us tonight.
That is a good point. I mean, I can probably extract 3 hours of Homestar talk, but who knows for sure? We're not sure yet.
So, anyway, yeah, Homestar can be very surreal and out there. And
I love surrealist humor.
some people just
So
aren't into that.
yeah, no, I understand where Homestar would not take to others' own tastes. It's although you're right, if Betty likes salad fingers, I think she'd like something like Homestar.
But
But
she doesn't.
eh, yeah, there's no accounting for taste. I guess I'm sorry, Barry.
Well,
I'm not trying to go against your taste or anything.
it's
Just
okay. I don't think she's listening. Uh,
okay, cool.
but you want to know who pretty much outright hated Homestar?
Do I want to know?
Huh. You could take a guess.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, no, I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that I know that you know who I'm talking about here. And
Yeah,
yeah, the less said about my ex-wife, the better. So
yeah.
anyway,
That
uh,
the fact that Betty at least tolerates his existence is an improvement.
well, she doesn't just tolerate it; she encourages me. I
That's
mean,
good.
she surprised me with something Homestar related once.
Oh, really now?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember? Yeah, see, Mo knows.
Oh yeah, yeah. We share our empathy against his terrible, terrible bitch of an ex-wife. But yes,
Well, yeah, like I said, the less said about her, the better. Anyway, what my
oats.
excellent wife that I traded up to did for me. Do you recall? Now, this is probably going to go ahead and go over some people's heads here, but then again, it was always the biggest, thing that had a cultural impact from Homestar, and that would be the one-armed dragon Trogdor.
Yeah, Trogdor became surprisingly big, but his very quirky design, especially the very deliberately out of place looking human arm, caught on to the greater public like wild fever. And
Hell, he was even mentioned on
uh,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
holy shit, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, credit to Joss Whedon where it's due, I suppose,
Yeah.
for what that's worth.
Well, anyway, they did a lot about Trogdor on the site. There have been several cartoons. There's been a couple of video games. But at one point, they wanted to go ahead and make a board game for Trogdor.
That's right.
Trogdor, the board game. I think it was on Kickstarter first.
Yeah.
Betty backed it for me.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
And even got me the extra meeples that come with it.
That's right. That's right. The meeples being the characters you can play as, right?
Yep. Because you have your. Okay, well, when you're playing the game, you have. Well, Trogdor is obviously Trogdor. He's a dragon. He burninates things, as Strongbad puts it. So you have, of course, the peasants and the knights as well. But the characters you can play as in the Strongbad email Dragon, where he first created Trogdor, he's basically giving art lessons to the majority of the other characters who happen to be there. And you can actually play as all their dragons, including Dagron.
Yep. And
Tasters.
Hamsars, which it had to be altered slightly, but it's just a piece of paper that says Taster's Choice. The modified version is Toaster's Choice, which I also find very funny.
Yeah.
Um,
But then they did an additional set of meeples that actually was the cast, as you see them there.
yep. Yep. And with that transition, now should we talk about them all?
Now is a good idea, yes. So,
Yeah.
well, why don't we start with the elephant-footed gray guy on the far left?
Yes. The brothers Strong are the guys on the three leftmost guys, and they don't look a damn thing like each other, so their brother status has been called into question. But the one on the way left, the rotund elephant-looking one with the ghost head, is Strong Sad, who's the sane, artsy hipster brother who Uh, I think has had a very interesting character evolution. Like he started out as Sad implies just being very mopey and like, whoa, my life is me, and listens to The Cure and other goth acts a lot. But he evolved more into being the overall straight man of the very zany cast, which I think made his character more valuable. He just kind of reacts to everything with indifference and even likes the idea of dying in an adorably positive way. So he's still obsessed with morbidity, but he's probably got the coolest head on his shoulders out of the entire cast. And also, he is subject to a wide variety of insult names from Strong Bad that usually involve the word dump.
Like Thelonious Dump?
That's my personal favorite, but I want to say he called him Stiltskin at once, and if he didn't, then he probably should have. But yeah, Strongstad takes it in stride at this point, and I mean he did attempt to introduce the band Sloshy to Strong Bad. It didn't take once he realized they weren't actually metal, but it worked for a while at least. So they have an extremely odd rapport.
Yes.
I guess it started out as looking a little bit abusive at first, but it evolved into something very interesting. It's more like give and take. It evolved more into like a sort of give and take sort of situation, which again I think was for the better. But yeah, Strong said ultimate straight man, but kind of a drip or a dump, as the case may warrant.
But towering behind the two of them in the back would be one of the other Strong brothers, Strong Mad.
Yeah, Strong Mad is not quite as complex as Strong Sad. In fact, he's he's a living brick wall in looks and personality. What you see is what you get with Strong Mad. He's mad. He's strong. He has no volume control. He shouts everything at the toppest volume he can give. It has maybe a little bit of an Andre the Giant warble to it, kind of, sort of, but it's like very throaty, like, geez, I can't, I'm not going to imitate any of the voices unless asked, so I'm not even going to go there.
Well, think about this, too. There were a couple of times he was either caught by surprise or whatnot, and he actually deviated from his usual voice. Like, there was a Strong Bad email where Strong Sad was given caffeine.
Yes, exactly.
At one
Even
point,
spoonful of Sanka.
yes, and at one point, Strong Sad's hanging upside down in their basement, and Strong Mad's all like, "Get down!" No,
No, parakeet.
Did you say parakeet?
Did you say parakeet?
Exactly.
Yep.
And he's also very attached to the cheat, if I recall correctly.
Yes. The cheat is his bestest friend. The deliberate contrast of the really big guy and really small guy, which kind of feels like a video game boss setup. But
like Frankenstein and Igor.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I was thinking of a more bizarre example. The second stage boss of Ninja Gaiden Shadow was like that.
Yeah. Been a while.
But Strong Mad isn't necessarily a bad guy per se. He's just big and loud and dumb, and occasionally does some wet work for whatever Strong Bad's schemes are. But well, I wouldn't exactly call him a teddy bear. I wouldn't really call him malicious either. He's like the Hulk, except a lot less green.
Yeah.
And I guess he's a wrestler too. Pro wrestling is something, at least from the halcyon days of the WWF before it became the WWE. Seems like something that the chaps are somewhat knowledgeable about. So,
hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Walking tribute to that. Hey there, Brandon, and hey there, Zombie.
Hey, Zombie.
Also a Homestar fan. Excellent. So,
Zombie!
If there's anyone who doesn't know about Homestar, I know we have some who do and love it, but I'll be glad to God damn. I'm sorry, I'm really gassy and I don't know why. And hey there, Tristan. What's up?
Oh, Tristan. What's going on?
Tease, tease,
Games.
games, characters. But yes,
Email.
but
And,
yeah, it's strong, sad, strong, mad,
and
and
then we have Strong Bad.
yes, strong bad, the red-faced wrestle man who is shirtless, has the boxing gloves, and his flesh mouth, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, zombie. I was saying that they were a bright spot for me in the 2000s when I felt that pop culture was otherwise kind of falling off a cliff, in my opinion. But yeah, no, they've just been very formative to my teenage years. Uh, anyway,
And
strong.
that's about a good point, Mo.
Yes, yeah, that is also a good point. I agree. But yeah, so Strong Bad is special. He was sort of thought out to be the main like rival to Homestar,
No,
the fucking
Bravado.
yes, good old Sonor card gauge.
We'll get
Like
to him in a bit.
yes, yeah, Strong Bad was designed to be to Homestar what Dr. Wily was to Mega Man. Kind of a constant thorn in his side rival. But I don't know if he was always if he was started out as being like a legitimate threat or whatever, but he usually got up to like Dick Dastardly esque unfair ways to be sneaky and try and disqualify Homestar for whatever arbitrary athletic competitions he's participating in. But Strong Bad as the antagonist who's rude and crude and in your face and all that kind of took on an almost Bender like quality from Futurama
Mm-hmm.
of being just so crass and willing to insult everyone who does not think that he is as great as he thinks he is, that he somehow became the most popular character of the entire ensemble, even more so than Homestar himself.
Well, it helped
This,
because of the Strong Bad emails.
yeah, his big thing was that he read actual fan submitted emails from people who wrote into the Brothers Chaps, and he would not only insult whoever wrote it. He did occasionally offer praise to his entrance, but not usually, and he loved busting on typos.
I'm not gonna call
But
you Monkey Dude. I'm gonna call you Josh.
so a crazy cartoon, huh, Josh? But yeah, not only did he just make fun of anyone who wrote into him, but he would then go on increasingly elaborate actual tunes in response to the emails that he received. Although
Yep.
back in the first computer era, the Tandy 486, I think it was called, they were a lot more like low key and dry, and they didn't really even have much of a tune aspect to them.
Like Trevor the
But
Vampire.
yes, poor Trevor, they got him. But the SB emails evolved big time into full-blown features that get up into whatever crazy hijinks Strong Bad is motivated to try out based on his SB mails, and there is a little over 200 of them, and I couldn't even begin to tell you how much value has been gotten out of the SB mails, but they became the most popular part of the site by and far and were instrumental in helping Homestar's influence spread around the world. Although
Well,
I think the Brothers Chaps expressed a little bit of regret that Strong Bad kind of stole the email thunder away from Homestar for the longest time, but it was what it was, and they leaned into it. So he's like the secondary character, but kind of the lead. It's a weird situation, but
well,
the site wouldn't be as great as it is without Strong Bad. So,
as
yeah.
Strong Bad put it in the site intro video, You don't know it yet, but he's the reason you're there.
It's true, or whatever Homestar's
It's
agreed
true.
to.
All right, so next up after Strong Bad would be that adorable little block of yellow leopard printed cheatery.
Yes, the cheat is the Brothers Strong's compatriot. He is Strong Bad's lackey, Strong Mad's best friend, and Strong Sad's torturer.
Yes.
That's probably not a bad way of putting it, but he's practically like part of their family at this point. And
That's just
as
cheat.
his name,
He uses new computers.
yes, the cheat is a technology conscious, and he uses Macintosh computers to animate really poor quality tunes with very off model characters and voices that crack me up and how.
Here, the cheat. Have a trophy.
Which are also very aggrandizing whenever he shows up. So he's got an ego to him. He does have a mean streak. He participates in a lot of, let's say, unscrupulous schemes like.
Exactly, Tex.
Like pouring. Yes, indeed. The cheat is a Mac bro. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cheat like rigged the grape lifting competition. He'll I don't know like put a bear trap onto the track if Homestar's trying to run across it. I'm trying to think of more specific examples, but they don't come to me because as the site went away from like Dick Dastardly-esque hijinks, the cheat became more like a more straightforward lackey, like get me a sandwich or get me a Thai iced tea as Strong Bad ordered once. But he's the ultimate servant, and I guess he's like the Brother Strong's butler almost. I don't know how else to put it.
Well, if you don't turn that camera off, he's going to throw that bust of Van Buren at you.
Yeah, like I said, he does have a little bit of a mean streak, but he just looks so cute.
But he only speaks in meh.
Yeah, the cheat speaks in a bunch of high-pitched squeaks that everybody somehow understands except for the viewer for the most part, so you have to pick up on the context of how they respond. I know there's like another character like that in some other work, but kind of like Beaker from the Muppet Babies. That's pretty dead-on analogy. He is I just think he's adorable, yet oddly funny. They get a lot of mileage out of him just doing unscrupulous and shady things, and also occasionally succumbing to rabies, apparently. He's my mom's favorite character because of his cuteness, yet his acidic qualities as well. It's an interesting contrast. Like, I'd say he's probably the meanest character out of everyone, but that just makes him all the more entertaining.
And the cheat even spawned his own toy line and cartoon.
Yes, he became the basis for the Cheat Commando series, which I will gladly loop back to our most recent roundtables when we get to talking about that in more detail. But he voices the character Firebird, who really needs to think of a better commando name already. But yeah, no, the cheat, adorable little gremlin. Just don't get in his way, or he'll, I don't know, open up one of those old-timey cartoon hole portals beneath your feet or something. I don't know.
Well, and so that case, let's move to some of the weirdos that are on the right here. Like the guy standing right above the cheat with the backwards ball cap and the green outfit and a big letter Z medallion. That's Coach Z.
Yep. He has more than two problems.
Yeah. And when you do a good job, he tells you all about it.
Yep.
However,
but
he's a bit...
He'll tell you. Go ahead.
He's a bit creepy and kind of disgusting at times.
Yes, Coach Z is a rather interesting one. I believe he's based off of the general notion of, like, I don't know, high school sports coaches being sketchy or dubious somehow. Thinking on it, I'm surprised they were able to kind of get away with that character thrust, but
Yeah, he thinks of himself as a rap star too.
yeah, yeah. Coach Z has, despite his apparent coachery, if that is even his job, he has ambitions of making it big in the rap and hip hop field. But his mic skills are kind of terrible. Let's be honest.
That man just ordered
Um,
breakfast in the middle of my rap song.
yeah, yeah. Coach Z is probably arguably the most dunked upon and generally hated, or at least disliked among the other residents of Homestar's world. Either him or the KOT, who we'll get to, but everyone does their best to keep their distance from him because they don't want him going on some sort of weird rant about, I don't know, a piece of gum that he found in his sock once that he named Terry or whatever. That was just something I made off the top of my head. I'm not sure if that's something he actually did, but
Well,
yeah,
when the youngsters were filling up the swimming hole with uh, what do you call it? Red Jello. He once
yep.
had a student named Red Angelo. And
Yes.
if you flash your car lights at night at a car with no headlights on, you get shot at by gangsters.
Yeah, Coach has some of the weirdest uh, angles, let's say, to offer to the website. He started off as being just kind of like sketchy, creepy, but they leaned into his bizarre, dumb sketchiness and just had him be very ridiculous, I think, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But he is enigmatic, um, rather pathetic.
Yeah.
But if he was any, I don't think he'd be Coach Z if he was respectable in any way whatsoever. So he absolutely has his place as the least venerated of all of free country USA, which I just now remembered is the actual place of where Homestar and his crew roam around.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
And I would say probably his closest friend there would be the next guy there, the one with the blue head and the orange, green, and gray legs. That would be Bubs, owner of Bubs
Yeah.
Concession Stand.
Yeah, relatively speaking, Bubs is probably the one person who tolerates Coach Z's weirdness enough to have something of a rapport with him, let's say. They're kind of like the two, like, older, venerated adults of the cast. I would say Bubs is generally more mature than Coach Z, but he's also a lot more deliberately nefarious, let's say.
Bubs
Bubs
is
is
a shyster.
yeah, he's how can I best describe it? He's like a merchant in a video game that sells really apparently strong gear, but they all cost like $60,000. No, wait, that's terrible.
All right,
He doesn't sell really expensive goods. He sells really cheap goods of extremely variable quality.
consider this. He orders donuts from a country called Homemade so he can put that they're from homemade on the box.
Yes, Bubs is the ultimate Honest John's dealership, let's say. You can maybe find anything ever at his concession stand, but you probably wish you wouldn't have found whatever he has to sell.
Yeah, like
But,
what was it? What was the medical insurance he had for sale that one time?
oh wow, I don't even remember.
Something that
Yeah,
Homestar bought anyway.
yeah.
Questionable medical
Literal,
insurance.
yeah, literally anything. Although most of it will probably just rip you off in the end.
Hmm.
Despite his unscrupulous business practices, Bubs generally seems to be light among the community. He sometimes does some shady things for Strong Bad as well. And he's just like a sort of all around handyman. That's as long as it's another profit for him. I mean, I'll give him credit. As a businessman, relatively speaking, he probably does the absolute minimum effort for maximum profit wherever he can. So he's smart. He's shrewd. He's just someone you should probably look up reviews of the internet on before you actually consider getting any of his wares.
Exactly. Now, the one right behind him, standing next to Coach Z, would be a character which you don't really usually see a lot of. And that's Pom Pom.
Yeah, Pom Pom is definitely an odd one. I don't have as much to say about him because he is easily the scarcest character of the 12. Like, the idea originally was that he was Homestar's best friend, and, he was really large and round in contrast to Homestar's relative pencil slimness. So, I guess his physical design was kind of playing off of Homestar's in that sense. He bounces around like a balloon. He only speaks in stock bubble noises, which
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to actually get a straw to replicate. And he's apparently a really cool guy. Like, to the extent that he's almost too good for the rest of these losers.
Yeah.
I mean, he got into Sundance once somehow, just filming something on his cell phone, so
Yep.
there is that. I
So
would
he,
say, though... go ahead.
I want to say that time that Pom Pom tried to jump in the swimming pool full of red jello and basically bounced into the stratosphere.
Yeah, I think he might have met Nebulon, if I'm not mistaken.
Nebulon's a character you don't see here, but whenever he shows up, it's usually just to insult him and tell him that no one likes his style. At which point he gets really sad and just floats away with this kind of a sound effect of some kind. Even,
Space sound.
yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
Even when you give him a compliment, he does the same thing.
Yes, exactly. Poor Nebulon. He's so loopy.
But yeah,
yeah,
really not much to say about Pom Pom otherwise.
Pom Pom oddly kind of fell out of focus. I mean, I think, his bag was that, since he also spoke like the cheat, but in a way like the cheat, because he does the thing where his bubble noises are incomprehensible to us, the viewer, but is understood by everyone else. I think that A, the cheat's more adorable design, B, the fact that some inflection could actually be put into his mez, and C, his more interesting and mischievous and sometimes malicious character in contrast to Pom Pom not really doing anything as crazy as the cheat does, kind of led him to be pushed out of focus. Like, he'll show up every now and again, but yeah, he's the closest thing to a Chuck Cunningham that the cast has. He didn't entirely leave up the stairs, but he doesn't come down from them very often.
No.
For better or worse, that happens sometimes with ensemble casts. Some people just kind of get shoved out of the limelight.
Yeah. And then we have the ostensible star of the show, Homestar.
Yep, the slim, no-armed whitey in question, as he has once been called. Homestar Runner is a terrific athlete. He's also dumb as bricks,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he speaks with an adorable Elmer Fudd-like accent. Yeah, Homestar as the title character of the cast, even if Strong Bad might have taken the main character status away from him, he is nonetheless the most active character alongside Strong Bad, and he plays a very dumb, plucky foil in comparison to Strong Bad's badness, let's say. Like
Mm-hmm.
Homestar's just kind of a free spirit. He sees the world how he wants and just wreaks havoc somewhat unintentionally. He's sort of that sort of plucky sort of positivity that I can. Well, no, not like SpongeBob.
No, no, not like SpongeBob.
Who do I even compare him to? Well, Homestar is kind of he's kind of a child at heart, and
Mm-hmm.
all the good bad qualities that embodies. Like, he oh, what do I even say? Like, he is childish. Like, he takes things very simply. I would even call him a simpleton, but he is adorable for it, even though he has his strokes of temper and can freak out at the provocation of something like long pants.
Yeah, or
But
ridiculously striped pants.
yes, the issue of whether or not Homestar is wearing pants or not has somehow been a long time debate in the series, and I don't think we'll ever get an answer. He's just designed like that. He can also pick things up despite not having arms, whether they're invisible or that's a psychic thing. The world may never know, but Homestar is pretty crazy. He's good at sports and pretty much nothing else. Well, maybe he's not bad at video games, but
But all
he's
he's allowed to play is Clapping Party.
that is true. Yeah, it has to be rated E by the ESRB, or it's probably no sale. Like, he is an idiot man-child, I think is the best way to put his character.
And don't forget
But
his donut recipe, the secret recipe, was a piece of TP with the word dog nuts written on it.
yeah, his grasp of the English language and its conjugations are probably kind of off kilter. Like I said, he sees the world how he wants to see it. He is generally likable, and even Strong Bad over time. While Strong Bad loves to pick on him a lot, they have some odd sort of mutual respect for each other at this point. Although, just beware that Homestar's stupidity is so out there that he might get himself trapped inside a water cooler or blow himself up in a college mascot costume because it's made of polymascot foamolate. So he's chaotic good is the best way that I can put it for all you D&D nerds. But
And
uh, you
also
know,
consider this: him and Strong Bad do occasionally like to have a nice cold one.
that is true, and it must be a cold one. It cannot be a room temperature one. That is total sacrilege. But, but yeah, the site's named after him. It's debatable whether or not he's the main character, but you can't have Homestar without Homestar. So
Welcome aboard the USS HomestarRudder.com. I'm your captain, Homestar Rudder.
exactly, he's a yep. Yeah,
He is.
he is what he is.
So right next to him would be the only girl in the series. That is Homestar's on again, off again, on again, off again, repeat. Love interest Marzipan, who kind of looks like a bell.
Yes, if you see Homestar in any bad moods, it's possible Marzipan might be behind it. They're the only consistent couple in Free Country USA, but they apparently are made for each other and yet cannot stand each other, and it's just become such a warped thing at this point that it's I don't even know how to describe it. It is a mess, but it somehow became hilarious. But anyway, apart from them though, Marzipan, kind of like Strong Sad, is almost a relatively straight character compared to everyone else, or she used to be, but I think she became crazy in a more subtle way over time.
Well, she champions all these different causes.
Yeah,
And
she's like sort of like Lisa Simpson, and like if there's any any sort of like major like environmental thing to get into, like vote whales or move the ocean over there or whatever. She'll throw herself full tilt into it and start protests outside of Strongbad's house because his lappy is energy sappy.
She also plays a guitar named Carol.
Yes, yes, or the cheat spelled it as Carl once. She's kind of a Renaissance woman, and she would be likable if she just weren't so judgy. I want to say she has a little bit of a. Well, she tries to be friendly and on good terms with everyone, but she also tries to just quietly keep her distance from some of the less scrupulous elements of the ensemble, which are almost 99% Coach Z.
Though she did form a band with Strong Mad and the Cheat once.
That is true. They did make cool tapes, and they made songs about four grapes and all that and so forth.
Yes, the band is actually called Cool Tapes. Didn't Homestar write that on the wall for no reason?
Yeah, yeah. Marzipan just formed the band around it on a whim just because.
Yeah.
And yes, Marzipan's also like a full tilt granola girl to the extent that she like teaches a class slash possibly cult about trying to better yourself, and coloring books with quote unquote crayons that don't even color, but they are made of totally recycled pressed Bunsen, so that's something.
Now she's voiced by who? Which one is it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Something I should note. Nearly all of the main characters, 11 out of 12 of them, 10 out of 12 of the main characters are voiced by Matt Chapman. However, Marzipan is actually voiced by Missy Palmer, who's Mike Chapman's wife. And yeah, she's been the most consistent voice actor besides Matt and all this. But very good sport for her to get in on being the only girl of the cast, and that also becoming its own running gag. Even a tune was made about speculating what could have been done for another girl character. Although, I'm not sure if the Hurricane would have been as accepted into the ensemble that late in the game. So, Marzipan's the only girl and everything that entails. She'll be a great ally if you're working for some sort of cause that benefits the ozone layer's bank account or whatever. But she can also be pretty scary when steamed. So yeah.
So let's not upset her at all, and we'll just move on to the guy who's kind of hiding behind her there. That it would be none other than America's favorite blue midget homestar, Homestar.
Homestar is a special one.
Yeah.
Thing of it is, the second ever Strong Bad email ever made was somebody asking, "Why do you hate Homestar so much to Strong Bad?" Now, prima facie, that is supposed to be a typo of Homestar Runner. They just forgot the E and the T, phone home, I guess. So Homestar was supposed to... Like, this person thought that, Homestar was Homestar. It just didn't spell his name right. He was born...
I think their question was, it's like, if you hate Homestar so much, why don't you just kill him?
Oh, yeah, the why don't you just kill him part. That's right. And so you're led to think that, Strong Bad is going to do something to Homestar at this point. Until he cuts to an open field and a short, weird little guy with a shirt that says Homestar on it turns to him. "Hey, Homestar." "What is it, Strong Bad?" And then a gigantic weight known as a Heavy Lord drops on him, and that was apparently the end of Homestar. So Homestar was a character solely created entirely for one gag. And yet, somehow, either the chaps or the fans love that gag enough that they actually brought Homestar back several times from certain death, I think, and then made him into the weirdest character out of the cast by and far. I mean, it's there's already questions like, why does he look kind of like Homestar but not? Like, why does his hat float everywhere and apparently has its own bizarre non-Euclidean sense of gravity? Like, what's with that little sound that he makes whenever he waddles around with his inverted feet?
One thing we know for sure, though, is that he's the non sequitur champion.
Yes, Hamsar's main task is to appear, say an extremely weird word salad sentence that almost has nothing to do with anything, and then just disappear and or get told off by one of the other characters. And
yeah,
he's basically
LC grammar.
yes, exactly. I'm a song from the 60s. He also has this very, almost adorably dopey voice that I never feel like I'm replicating right, but I guess it's to say that he has a very different mind from the rest of the characters. Like, I don't know how canon it is, but he actually is quite intelligent if one of the Telltale game episodes says anything. It's just that nobody can understand him for unknown reasons because he's just working on a completely different level apart of anyone.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a healthy piece of real estate. Gee.
I mean, like, he probably means something when he says, I'm just in time for the murder mystery. But who knows what it has to do with anything? Like, no one else can understand him, but, Hamsar's just there doing his thing to be weird, total living non sequitur, just a walking gag character, and just because of his bizarre sentences, he's one of the most immensely quotable characters on the site as a result. I mean, again, this was from one of the Telltale games, but I usually like saying, I left my bacon at the tennis patch whenever I make some sort of goofy mistake or whatever. But yeah, born entirely from a gag and just being a weird floating enigma, Hamsar just became somehow very popular and ridiculous, and also a secret character in a way. Like the site sometimes has it. The thing about Flash is that it can apparently manifest like clickable objects at different times, and I don't know how to describe it. It's like sometimes you like click on something, like if the mouse cursor goes from an arrow to a hand, then it like click on that and see what happens, and then usually Hamsar shows up as a result. This was like the case for
it's like an Easter egg.
Yes, Hamsar's an Easter egg character. If you search around in the tunes and mails, he might just pop up out of left field. Like that happens with like nearly all of the Halloween tunes. Like I don't know, if you click on like the moon in the background, then he shows up as like Tangle from Majora's Mask, and then just glitches the screen with a bunch of weird nonsense. His character video is even secret. You have to press the VCR on the button on the screen to get the tape out. So Hamsar is your reward for being nosy. I'm not sure how valuable a reward it is, but
it's a funny one though.
It is indeed a very fun. He's probably like the purest form of HR's overall surreality. He's Captain Surreal, and like we said, he's the non sequitur champion. I think he did canonically win that over Sonor Card Gauge, so yeah, good on him.
Then we have another weird character here. See that Santa Claus looking dude dressed like a king? That would be the king of town. And he
Well,
is a weird one.
to be fair, they are all weird characters, but the King of Town ostensibly is the ruler of Free Country USA. Maybe if it even has any political division, I don't know. It's very
Honor,
ambiguous.
valor, butor.
But for let's see. I want to say that if this were a more normal series or website, then the King of Town would be like that character in an 80s Saturday morning cartoon who's like, the wise and just leader that, could be like the main character's father or whatever, or at least someone they trust who's just all around good but is constantly besieged upon by the villain. Like a lot of those series had like a king or an old wise character like that for some reason. The King of Town is absolutely not that at all. Everyone hates him and thinks he sucks. And
And he eats the weirdest things.
oh yeah, he has a very unhealthy diet, let's say. Food eventually kind of became the KOT's main hat, let's say.
And that should be
And that
food
can
with
include,
quotes around it.
yes, yes, that can be anything from a giant pile of salt to probably something that, like, I don't know, batteries or whatever.
A
Things
stick
that
of
shouldn't.
deodorant.
Oh, that is gross. He's
Yeah.
probably I would say he would be the grossest character, but Coach Z and the guy to the right of him give him some competition. It's a wonder that he's even still living. He won the Count Longardo's award for the least healthiest man, question mark. And yeah, it's like the KOT, I think, actually in the sort of the overall cast actually kind of started out as someone that didn't seem like the chaps knew exactly what they were doing with him, and like I think he was actually the least popular character for a while, legitimately, but they leaned into his terrible eating habits so hard that even if it became like the only thing that was notable about him, it's also what made him more weird and memorable as a result.
Do you remember
He
when he was?
occasionally,
Do you remember when he was the svelte young prince of town?
somehow I do. What happened, man? I don't even know. Oh yeah, there were a bunch of fries in the egg that the cheat leaped out of, or something like that.
Yeah, it was fish sticks.
Oh, some. Oh wait, it was fish sticks. You're right. Shoot. But yeah, the KOT does occasionally reign some sovereignty over everyone. Like, Strongbad and Homestar had to go on a business trip and quote unquote seal the deal with him. Whatever deal that was, I don't know, but Homestar ended up doing it by giving him 2 giant cans of pork and beans, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't it one time you wanted to order 30 Thanksgiving lovers pizzas?
Yeah, so it's weird. In any other series, this would be seen as very grotesque gluttony, but somehow it works for the KOT, and like I said, it did make him oddly more likable for giving him something that was just so freaking out there in its own way. He's like 30 Michelangelos ordering peanut butter and jelly bean pizza. That's the best way I can put it.
Well, the only one who might be actually a little worse than that as far as the grossness factor would be the last character here. Well, just to give you an idea, his name is the Poop Smith. And
oh my.
That's exactly what's on his glove right there. And he spends all his time shoveling a big pile of what's-it for the king.
I am surprised that the Poop Smith hung on as much of a character as he did. In a way, he seems like he might have a little less going for him to... Oh, Jesus, Brandon, I'm sorry to hear that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Alright, well, hey man, let us know how that turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, keep us updated on that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Huh.
Well,
Well, but
one
yeah.
thing that can be said about the Poofsmith is, yeah, he has a lovely singing voice.
Oh yeah, there is actually something about that. I'll get to that at. Oh, okay, man. I do actually have what's known as a quote unquote cheese tumor on the back of my neck. That's a really gross sounding name, but it is
I'll
just
say.
a yeah, a dermatologist who was like really freaking smart told me that it is a permanently benign, just kind of lump on the back of my neck, but nothing to worry about whatsoever. It's something that I, I don't know. Like I said, medical term is gross, but I have something that is also nothing to worry about. Is what I'm saying.
I get screened for cancer
Anyway,
all the time, so
yeah, yeah, it's I gotcha.
it,
Anyway, the
you
poop
know,
smith though, the poop smith.
helps that I'm over 50.
That is another good point. You should do that more regularly, even if you don't have the condition that you have.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, high blood pressure is kind of something that I struggle with. I take a
Same.
medication for that too. Yeah, but
But,
anyway, the poop smith, the poop
yeah.
smith. I keep trying to. I mean, I guess there's not as much to say about him on the surface because he's taken a vow of silence and he, for the most part, says almost nothing. He just keeps to his work, shoveling his what's it, as it is sometimes known, and that does seem incredibly gross, and yes, it is. The characters even remark on the grossness of it. But, you know, the Poopsmith is actually surprisingly nuanced character. I'm surprised they actually figured out more to do with him than what they did with Pom Pom over time. Because,
Yeah.
you know, he is kind of like the KOT's, I guess, lackey. So he'll be like holding banquets for him, whatever, which he probably shouldn't be with his gloves being what they are. His sanitary habits are often called into question, but that makes him oddly more amusing. Like, surprisingly for his grossness, he generally seems better respected than Coach Z, so there is that. Um, and yeah, you know, he might be in the background, like serving smart drinks that aren't smart in the back of the club. And yeah, you know, he actually seems like someone who has his head on his shoulders, kind of like that sort of like quiet like janitor or garbage man or whatever who's like really smart and working extremely below what should be his pay grade. At least that's the impression I've always gotten out of him.
Yeah, that
Oh,
basically covers the main cast right there.
oh, but yes, he does have a lovely singing voice, as Rob said, which
Yes.
is actually the voice of John Linnell from They Might Be Giants.
Who, as it turns
Absolutely.
out, are big Homestar Runner fans.
Yes, the two Johns, Linnell and Flansburgh, are huge fans of Homestar. Actually, almost practically friends with the Brothers Chaps, and they have done a song and music video by the name of Experimental Film for the website. It also
Yes.
has a very hilarious commentary track. Actually, two
Oh,
commentary
the
tracks now that I see
commentaries are
it. So,
gold.
yes, it's a lion.
Yeah.
But
Ah, more like
yes.
our murder you in a back alley host.
Yes, but yeah, that is a main cast in question. There's a lot. It's like it's weird. They are simple characters in what they are and do. Like I wouldn't be able to write like a thesis on them like I would a character from something like oh hey you saw it Sharon. Yes, it is very good. Good song too. I really need to listen to They Might Be Giants more. I like what I have heard, but I haven't gone far beyond their third album, Flood, too much yet. But they're one that's on my list to crack into more sometime.
Particle Man,
Um,
Particle Man.
Particle Man, doing the things that a particle can. What he's like, it's not important. Particle Man,
Okay, don't
is
get
he
us
a doctor?
copyright struck.
Is he a... That is a very good point. I apologize for that.
Uh,
You know what? I'll just give myself a warning for that.
but
Yes, I
anyway,
like my Persian too, Sharon. My brother is has always been a huge fan of them, also, which People who listen to They Might Be Giants statistically are probably also huge Homestar Runner fans. They come from that sort of alternative culture, let's
Yeah.
say, which I am partially immersed in, I'd say, to an extent.
Also,
I would say
I was going to
what?
say, Brandon, I get the whole fasting thing. Believe me, I do. And I know exactly.
Ooh.
I've made it to the wanting to eat your mattress point and then beyond it. And then it became some kind of a Zen thing. There's a couple times I've been in the hospital. I wasn't allowed solid food for days. And eventually
That
I just was, it's like completely okay with it.
Well, I'm sorry to diverge from I'm sorry to diverge from Homestar and focus on medical issues, but Sharon, if you ever think of the name of that song, do let me know. Was it Istanbul? Was it Anna Eng? Was it Birdhouse in Your Soul? Any of those?
Don't let's
Don't Let's
start.
Start? Yes, yes. I Palindrome I. I can say that I never actually reached that Zen phase
Yeah.
when I was sent to the hospital for diabetic ketoacidosis. If anything, I just got more angry at the fact that I wasn't allowed to have food, and I didn't just. I just got angrier. Oh, hey, it was "Don't Let's Start." Yeah, that's an excellent song. I fucking love it. Like I said, I really have to get on more TMBG, but I basically just had to subsist on ice cubes as food for a while until they told me that I could eat again. It was Jesus. It almost felt fucking inhumane. Like I could understand why. Uh, I understand in retrospect. Like they had to get all the impure toxins out of me, but oh
Oh, I'm
god,
very familiar with that. I will say
yeah.
too that the thing that got me about the whole fasting, I wasn't even allowed to drink anything. I had to have
Oh,
all my fluids through a tube.
oh, yeah, no, no, I think that was the case for me. It had to be intravenous or whatever. Oh,
Hmm.
I hope I never get that sick again.
Yeah, but when I
I
finally
probably
was
will
able to
sometime.
drink something, it was like the greatest thing in the world. And then I was able to get some popsicles, and that was great too.
Yeah, yeah, the road back is at least appreciated. It's just having to go through fucking the nine circles of hell to get there is never pleasant. But I guess that's not Homestar Chat, so we
Well,
diverge sometimes.
consider this, Brandon. I almost died during that period.
He did come very close to it, yes. I'm not sure how close I came to it myself, but probably not as close as Rob actually came to it.
They told Betty to prepare for the worst,
Yeah, yeah, Jesus, it's just so fucking
and I
scary.
don't even remember a thing from like the first 2 days I was in the hospital. My brain had checked out.
Yeah, I only vaguely remember anything when I went in. Probably not much for like the first couple of days either. I just remember like I think I was somewhat accepting of it at first, but I just got crankier the more I was there.
Well, if it tells you anything, the last thing I remember is actually being wheeled into the emergency room. I don't remember
Hmm.
a thing after that until about 2 days later when I.
Oh my God, Brandon. Can you sue for that? Cause fuck, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what was that an actual medical fuck up that I'm sorry. I'm getting too nosy. If that's too personal, you don't have to share. I'm just concerned. Like it's, someone who has some medication myself and has family members who are on more medication than I am. Like I take pharmaceutical issues seriously like that, and okay, okay. So
Yeah.
you were basically trying out a new med that went poorly for you. That has happened occasionally with my brother, so I know where you're coming from on that one.
I will tell you, during that whole period of time that I was gone, when I finally woke up, I found myself in the dark in a strange room, and it was the middle of the night 2 days later, and my arms and legs were both strapped down.
Mm.
And when I finally got a good look at my arms, they were covered with all these massive bruises.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
what a fun time. But I
Yep.
pulled through it. I don't have those bruises anymore, and I'm still here somehow. So,
And we're talking about Homestar Runner, I guess,
yes,
still,
we should
hopefully.
probably go back to that now.
Anyway, that was medical chat, apparently. So
We slipped the
back to our
medical
regular.
chat back into the home runner stream.
Yeah,
So
I will say it's surprising that the KOT hasn't been to any hospitals that we know of, and do not apologize for that. That is a reasonable concern to bring up. It's fine, man. It really is.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Uh, what I'd like to talk about right now is basically when the site started out. It was a collection of little cartoons they made up, plus some older Flash titles and whatnot, like for games. But none of
Mhm.
this ever took off until the introduction of the strong bad emails.
Yes. Yeah, like the tunes at first were, I guess, more in tune with the children's book. There's some early stuff that I think the chaps are just A, kind of embarrassed about, or B, just don't think really holds up that well from a humorous standpoint. And it is something I think Strong Bad busted on. But
And I never quite
the
got that
Strong
whole
Bad,
search for the yellow Dello thing.
oh yeah, that was weird. Everyone was deliberately off model in that one.
Yeah,
Like Homestar for like the first year or two as a Flash site, it did have to find its footing, to say the least. Wait. How's about this analogy? The strong bad emails are to Homestar what Stanley's Clubhouse was to UHF.
exactly.
Yes. Like, I
If
cannot think of a more perfect analogy.
if anyone here has not seen UHF, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, anyway, yes. That. What he said.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the strong bad emails, once they picked up steam and they took off. And as a result, we got so many interesting things from them. Uh, Trogdor, who I mentioned earlier, who became a star in his own right. There
Uh huh.
was 20XT6, which was basically Strong Bad's interpretation of a fan asking what he would look like if he was in an anime. He was,
Yeah, Strong Bad still calls it Japanimation, for the record.
yep, but he did create Stinko Man out of it.
That is true. And his old world with One Up, who wants to be the guy too.
Yep. And there was also, I don't remember exactly how this one came about, but there was the sub series 1936.
Oh yeah, how did the old timey?
Yeah, they call it old
I
timey
know.
Homestar.
Yeah, the 1936, the old timey universe. I know. I think it started out either with the kick the can shorts or the fact that one of the main pages was rendered in an old timey way, and then they just decided to run with that. I should also note that like the site has like it has a main page on it where Homestar says tunes, games, characters, and all that, and introduces you to all the places on the site where you can go. But there's like many different variants on that page, like starting out as relatively straightforward things like they're in space or they're on an island or they're working at a burger place. I like the Halloween one where Homestar is a zombie that has an exposed brain. But as the site accrued more of its own gags and in jokes, they had more main pages based on some of their odd worlds. Like, I believe, yeah, there is one based on 20XD6, one based on Seriously Forks. There's one
Seriously,
that's somehow.
folks.
There's one that's somehow led by Hamsar instead, and so forth. I have always liked the main pages, even though I guess they became a little more understated as time went on. But they still made some new ones later. Anyway, I just remember there was an old timey page where you just heard a film scratch, but whenever Homestar would speak, it would just say tunes or games in a box that appears on screen like a silent film.
Yeah.
And I guess from that notion, they got the idea to have a talkie picture from the 30s about Homestar, Marzipan, and Pomp. I mean, Fat Dudley,
Yeah.
being poor during the Great Depression and looking for food and whatever other films at the time were about, like very, very Charlie Chaplin-like stuff, sort of, or an affectionate parody of anything.
Oh yeah, they're a great parody of the like 30s cartoons.
Yes, yeah, like
and they're Sickly Sam.
And yep. Everyone's worst friend who buries himself alive on Tuesdays.
And then there's let's see. What is Strong Bad? What is he called now? Is he still Strong Bad?
I think he's just Sir Strong Bad or something like that.
Yeah.
He was referred to as a dapper thousandaire at some point.
And then there's also
he's they literally made Strong Bad a mustache twirling villain.
Yeah, he got a handlebar mustache and everything.
Yep. And then there's his lackey, the Sneak, who is a sort of rat possum thing that probably gets up to more dastardly deeds than even the Cheat does.
He even got his own theme song.
I'm pretty sure that is right. It was very catchy, and it was done by at the time, an actual, I think, a cappella group by the name of Da Vinci's Notebook.
Might have been a barbershop.
It's very catchy. Podcast. My mom still loves it. Yes, and that exactly. Yeah. Several syncopations tonight, but yeah, I do like the old timey verse. It reminds me I need to watch more Chaplin and Buster Keaton and stuff like that. But I think I get the general thrust of what they're going for.
Yeah. And then once a fan wrote and asked Strong Bad to create a crazy cartoon. Now that's where my avatar comes in. That would be
Strong Bad.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
Well, okay. Well, to understand the whole thing behind Steve, you have to lay out the whole basis for the cartoon. First of all, the name has no connection to the cartoon itself, which is Sweet Cup and Cakes. And then the cartoon takes place in this surreal-looking landscape, and the main character looks like a cross between a cow and a helicopter. And it only talks like this.
I think his name is Sherlock, although I don't think that was ever actually said anywhere.
Yep, and his whole, at least once per every episode, he's supposed to try and get a worm. And the worm talks from time to time. And
get your own.
Get your own. And of course, Steve has to show up and deliver his catchphrase. Hey, Steve! And of course, the wheelchair is voiced by Bubs. I'll get you, hey Steve, if it's the last thing I ever do. And Strong Bad's there too, but his head is an old, what is that, a keyboard? And when he gets really mad, it plays the demo. Now, there's apparently another resident there who somehow managed to cross over. At least I'm pretty sure he's a resident because he showed up in the Sweet Cup and Cakes mini golf with all the weird holes and stuff. But that would be the crackly drive-through whale.
Yes. Homestar, the universe has several other characters besides the ones that you see there, and they get into some weird gags. Like, the drive-through whale is apparently a drive-through speaker for a restaurant that doesn't exist, and it just says a lot of weird crap.
I love that thing. It's like...
It's pretty great.
Sever your leg, please. It's the greatest day. Sever my leg. It's the greatest day. I'm not sure I understand the nature of the transaction that's taking place.
Yeah, it usually exists to greatly annoy Strong Bad and the Cheat, but it also eats space lobsters occasionally, because why not?
Yeah, European space lobsters.
Yep.
And, please pull around to the 7th window. What window? You're just a crackly
Yep.
drive-through whale sitting in the middle of a field. Field.
Hmm.
Mighty Cheat wants to know what your crappy toy is this week. It's brown.
It's brown.
It's brown. Well, I guess they're out of blue ones.
No, I felt bad for the cheat in that moment.
Yeah. Isn't there even a version of Strong Mad in there?
In the Sweet Cup and Cakes verse, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if there is, or at least I don't.
Well, it's
Hmm.
based like his.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wait, that came from the eyebrows, or the hairstyles, spee mail, where like somehow based on Strongmad's face, Strongbad drew like a little hair guy made out of theoretical eyebrows for Strongmad. But yes, he has Strongmad's face, but he has like these large brown shoes, and his name is apparently ready for prime time, or it might be Greg. We're not exactly sure.
Yeah, and that mini golf course they have is that's an interesting one. But you can't just get to it by regular means. You have to just kind of will yourself there.
Yep, yep. You just have to be talking about it, and maybe you're there, and then you play the classics like the Statch Hole,
Oh
which
yeah.
is bad, and the one with the blue water, which is very gross and dubious.
Oh, the cheat! You didn't drink the blue water, did you? And of course,
Yeah.
the final hole is the infinity hole.
Oh,
Oops.
I guess I forgot the port. You. Oh, I guess I forgot the Pratt.
Yep.
Oh, work up a port. This will go on forever if you let it.
So yeah, that's sweet cup and cakes.
It is a very bizarre collective of whatevers. Like this, like gets surreal, but that Sweet Cum Cakes is basically surrealism parodying surrealism. Best way
Yes.
to put, I can think of to put it, but yes,
And then there was the Teen Girl Squad, which came about because it was another strong bad email, if I remember correctly.
it was yes.
And what was the deal with that? It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Let's see. I know it was like the writer said that she and like three of her friends. Oh, geez. Like they wanted to be made. I want to say that they wanted to be made into a comic by Strong Bad, and like their names are blah 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 blah, and then Strong Bad just sketches on like scholastic line paper. This writer and her friends who then die in very various creative and unlikely ways.
Yeah, let's not forget their names. You have Cheerleader,
Here,
so and
so and
so,
so.
What's Her Face,
What's her face?
and the Ugly
The ugly
One.
one.
And each of them
Nice.
always have the most interesting thing to say.
Yes. Like what would you say, for example?
I belong in a museum.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
So it basically started off like that, but as the series or the sub series went on, they eventually, because it was all black and white at first, and then they went to color and started to use like actual animation and stuff. But there were
Mm-hmm.
some genuinely funny bits, like Teeny Tiny Girl Squad.
Mm-hmm. Torso takes silver,
Yeah.
and
Tom gets me to swear. Wah.
yes, they're everything's voiced by Strong Bad as well.
Yes. And Cheerleader, she's the leader of the group, but she's also a major snob and apparently can't pronounce Valentine's.
Valentine's Day, yes.
Exactly. So and so is basically the overachiever of the group.
Yeah, she's very brainy, and all her efforts pretty much go to naught because I don't know. Is she the one who gets killed by the arrowed guy the most? I don't remember. Oh, maybe not
I
her.
thought that was the
No,
ugly
no, I
one.
think it was the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, my bad.
But
But she does apparently have a
shoplifting.
yes, she does apparently have a terrible stepmom, and she has her mischievous side to her. So there's
And
that.
she's also been in jail at least once.
Yes, she can't do another nickel.
Nope. And then there's what's her face? She's kind of the alternative girl.
Yes, she dresses in rather frumpy and baggy clothes. I want to say she seems like the relatively grumpiest one of the crew, but it's also probably because she's the lowest on the totem pole, even below the ugly one somehow. Like she is to the Teen Girl Squad what Coach Z is to the main cast.
And
Why I don't know, but
they
it is what it is.
they formed a band once, and her one request was, "Can I not get stuck playing bass?" Guess who was on
Anyway.
bass?
No
This
way.
this my new backup band, a shark. Yeah,
Yes.
at first the suggestion for a band name was Smartly Pretty, until cheerleader overrode that with Kissy Boots.
Yep. I don't
And
know. I
then
think Smartly Pretty's not a bad band name.
band name, band name, band name. Say, I like cloth. Did that dude just tell
She
you she
likes
likes
rock.
cloth? She likes cloth. That'd be a good band name.
Yep.
Yeah, she's also one of the only ones who found romance with the wireless
Surprisingly so.
wizard.
Yeah, no, Valentine's Day actually worked out pretty well for her
Yeah.
somehow.
Say, you want to go find a
She
remote
deserves it.
access point with me somewhere? Full
Full
bars.
bars.
And then there's the ugly one. Now,
Hmm.
her musical tastes apparently are listens to pine bark,
Yep.
but she is the ugly one until she has a sweet some teen birthday party and then gets a total makeover.
I believe she was unofficially called the Hotly one at that point.
Yeah, and her father is Manolio's ugly one.
Yep. Be good to his daughter, or he got you like sheep.
Exactly. He also runs
He'll
Manolio's
probably get
ugly
you like
ones.
sheep.
Oh yeah,
Electro, Electropon.
yeah.
Yes.
So when Strong Bad actually did the makeover, where you see the Hockley one, he's like, "Whoa, did I draw that new hotness?" Then he was going to have her
And then
arrowed
yep.
and change his mind. Not this time. And then he redrew the scene so where they're standing in front of the Great Pyramids at Giza, and she's there with her makeover, and Strong Bad standing there looking totally buff with no shirt and a construction hat on.
Yep.
I say, the ugly one, you're looking very makey-outy tonight. Thank you, Sir Hotbod Handsome Face. So are you.
Yep.
And
He
then
got horribly carried away with that one.
I'll say, Strong Bad, were you just third basing it with a piece of loose leaf? Yeah, Strong Sad, Strong Mad, and the cheat all caught him making out with the piece of paper, which he then tried to clumsily disguise as a pizza. Now, it's interesting because the Teen Girl Squad also spawned its own little spinoff, Four Gregs.
That's right. It was, yeah, there are these nerdy characters, all called Greg, that popped up at some point in the TGS for like a couple of comics, and then somehow they did get their own show. That being, well, their own tune rather. That being Sci-Fi Greg, D&D Greg, Open Source Greg, and my favorite, Japanese Culture Greg.
Yeah, and a couple other things that spun off from them, at least one that I could think of, would be the garage band Brain Krieg, who got last place.
Unfortunately, yes. Oh
But
well,
don't forget
their
that
deli style wasn't up for everybody.
Nope. But don't forget, though, they also, wrote about getting candy on Halloween. Or no.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or was it, if I don't get video games. Or,
yeah, that sounds right.
yeah. So it's interesting to see how Teen Girl Squad itself evolved. Plus, there's all sorts of various characters showing up, like the Arrow guy.
Yep.
He's this balding dude who just shoots all these arrows out of his mouth and impales the ugly one usually.
Yep.
And then what was her name? The older girl what's got her learner's permit. I had my license for 2 years. Stop saying words.
Yep. Yeah, again, TGS is like more surreal than usual, but it's very specifically out of the mind of Strong Bad, and it's usually made to, like I said, very creatively kill the cast in all sorts of various ways.
Corn is no place for a mighty warrior.
Yep. The ugly one is like Kenny on South Park. Maybe. Well, they're all like Kenny in that mostly they don't survive to the end for the most part.
Yep.
But they occasionally get a bone thrown their way, like what's her face, like you said.
Yep. And remember when Cheerleader announced that the summer was going to be different because they would no longer be hanging out next to this old person? Bye, old person. Yep. Bye, old person. And then she got run over.
Yep. The other girls all went on to things.
We're like, free. I can overachieve like a bandit.
Yeah, a tree fell on the ugly one. So and so got hit with a harpoon, and what's her face ate staple sauce, a heaping bowl of staple sauce, and that apparently killed her too.
Yep. And let's not forget what happened to the old person. I can be a teen girl. Ain't no teen girl.
Ain't no teen girl. Quite good.
Yeah, a couple of vultures came down and ate him.
Yep.
And then they all encountered each other in the afterlife. Of course, Cheerleader took charge again.
Mm-hmm.
And then crazy learner's perma girl gave Strong Bad a ride to Babbage's. What? They ain't got no TurboGrafx games?
No TurboGrafx games, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see. Oh, we've been saving the best one here. The Cheat Commandos.
Yep. This one was born originally, well, somewhat out of a gag, the Speemail Army, if I'm not mistaken, where Strong Bad, General Homestar says he's going to declare an attack on Strong Badia.
It's Colonel Homestar.
Colonel Homestar. Yes, thank you for not... Yeah, it has been a while for me in some cases. But yeah, he says he's going to, go for an attack on Strong Badia, which is just like a lot behind that fence with a tire and a sign on it. But it's nonetheless Strong Bad's own sovereign nation. And Strong Bad is curious and annoyed enough to find out what the heck Homestar's actually up to, so he assigns the Cheat to do some reconnaissance work and find out what Homestar's brewing. The Cheat, dressed up in like sort of henchman outfit, all black with one of those winter caps or whatever. I don't know what you call them, a toque or whatever. He says that yes, you must find out what's happening at what Homestar's planning, except that the Cheat tells him that he needs to be called by his commando name. Strong Bad is very reluctant to call the Cheat by his commando name because it is a bad commando name. The Cheat does not relent, and Strong Bad eventually calls him Firebert, dejectedly.
Yeah.
That leads to an incident where Private Benedetto gets killed while the brothers play badminton, although Benedetto's just a coffee machine, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice, a popcorn machine.
Oh, popcorn machine.
One of those old 80s air popcorn poppers.
Yeah. Homestar is still distraught by the death
Nintendo,
because,
don't you give up on me, soldier. You stole me to $5.
yep, he never gave Homestar the $5 if it even had it in the first place.
That's what it
But
takes to join the
anyway,
Homestar Army, you know. You gotta have
apparently,
the
yes.
$5.
Yeah, it's a nice scam he has running there. If that, I don't know. I guess he puts those bucks towards some more old Sega tapes. That's my guess. Anyway. That was a little bit of a divergence. The cheats in his outfit as and with the commando name Firebert gave the brothers Chaps one of their best ideas ever, where they then turn quote unquote Firebert into an action figure and then have lots of other cheat action figures all dressed up in various ways, like Silent Rip, who has his commando vest, Krakataj with his aerial headset, Fight Gar with his stubble and headband, and of course the leader of the pack, Gunhaver, with his shades, coat, hat, and well, of course, gun, as his name
Yeah.
says.
And let's not forget, we need reinforcements. Did somebody say my name? Reinforcements!
Reinforcements! Justice Rocket Backpack Rocket Fire. Yes. So as a result of Firebird, they then created lots of other characters: Silent Rip, Krakataj, Fight Gar, all sorts of other cheats,
Who
and
was the girl?
that led Foxface, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
There's also Rip Burger, who you can only get with free proofs of purchase. He brought some ambrosia salad. And Admiral Flashfight, who's a stuffy jerk and apparently likes watching dressage mishaps, whatever the heck those are.
Well, let's not forget about.
And let's not
We can't forget about Reynolds,
Reynolds.
though.
Nope. His girlfriend left him. None of the other cheat commandos likes him. He's apparently like their accountant. He never gets to go on any missions, even though he thinks he would be a good mission guy.
You could basically sum up Reynolds like this.
Yes, that's a good way. That's a great way of putting it. It always seemed like there was that character in '80s tunes who was kind of like shat upon. I almost want to say Reynolds is the snarf of the group, but I don't know.
I like Reynolds better than Snarf.
I do too. Yes, he is oddly likable. He occasionally gets his moment in the sun. He even joins Blue Laser. Oh wait, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
So yeah, this Firebird begat the Cheat Commandos toy line, which is a very affectionate parody of like basically everything we were talking about in our last stream about 80s cartoons.
But especially with a focus on G.I. Joe.
Yes, G.I. Joe is the main thing that it focuses on with the different action figures and their quirks. I mean, I think Krakataj is like directly taken from Roadblock and his tendency to rhyme things.
Also, Mo answered your question.
Oh, dressage is a type of horse riding. You know what? That checks out. It's nowhere near as exciting as pony fights.
Pony fights.
Yep. But, yeah, so the She Commandos, they're this toy line manufactured by Cheap is Free Toys. And it also begat the Cheat Commandos cartoon series, which is a very loving parody of G.I. Joe, and especially emphasizing the poorly disguised toy commercial aspect. Now, as we talked about, especially with Prime in our last roundtable, G.I. Joe actually turned out to have a lot more substance to it than just being a toy commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But Cheat Commandos is not G.I. Joe. It is much more unashamed about plugging the toy line wherever it can. In fact, the theme song is Cheat Commandos. There's not a consistent lyric, but, well, the last line is, buy all our playsets and toys! And It's just so upfront about that it is hilarious. It's like poorly made... Crack Stuntman, the voice of Gun Shaver on the Cheat Command show, is a huge prima donna, and he got mailed off to, he got put in a box once when he got a little out of his demands, but
I'm Crack Stuntman.
Yeah. Oh, geez. What do I even say
I
about
play the
that game?
voice of the
Oh yeah.
gun
Yeah.
shaver on the Cheat Commando show.
Right. Right. The Chi Commandos are also fighting against the forces of Blue Laser, who is very blatantly the Cobra stand-in.
Yeah,
they
they.
they all have a bunch. What?
Let's say the blue laser. He even sounds like an attempt at mimicking Cobra Commander.
Yeah, the Blue Laser Commander. It's like all the goons have this really low key voice and are like, "Yes, sir, whatever, sir." But the Blue Laser Commander has an extremely scratchy, very
I just hate you
very
so much.
yes, exactly. Affectionate parody of Chris Latta, R.I.P. is a fantastic inflection that he gave to Cobra Commander and to Starscream on that
Yeah.
note as well. But I cannot do that voice right now because I realize I really freaking need a drink of water. So Rob, talk a bit. I'll be back in a few seconds.
Okay. Well, Cheat Commandos. Yeah, really, the first time I saw it, I was just like, oh my god, they spoofed G.I. Joe. And it's great. They even did like very special episodes too. One of which where Reynolds he makes an inappropriate peer to choice decision or something like that, where he decides he's going to go get teen pregnant. Not to get a teen pregnant, he was going to himself get teen pregnant. And G Commandos, you got to look at the site. Like I said, links down below in the video description. But totally worth watching if you have any memories of G.I. Joe at all. It's just so spot on. There's one part in particular I'm waiting for Mike to come back for. And Crack Stuntman himself has actually appeared in a couple of PSAs. Like, I think it was like,
Pistols for Pandas. I'm back, by the way.
Pistols for Pandas, that's right. And he did that song about too many knives.
Yes, kids don't play with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, making fun of all the PSAs that GI Joe and a lot of tunes of the time would have.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's you know how their slogan is "Buy all our playsets and toys," and what happens
Yes.
is at the end of everything you see like Gunhaver standing on top of a stone pedestal with "Buy all our playsets and toys" on it. And the rest of the G Commandos surrounding him. Well,
Yep.
in one memorable incident, he said, "G Commandos, riggedy roll." That's not what we usually
don't
say.
we usually say something?
Whatever, it's riggedy roll from now on. So you see the same scene at the end, except that instead of "Buy all our playsets and toys," it says "riggedy roll" on it, and the G Commandos all look completely confused.
Yep.
So yeah, but that was such a great parody of GI Joe.
Yeah, and knowing more about GI Joe than I do now, it's all the juicier. Like there's a group that's clearly ripping on the Dreadnoks. They're called the Doppelgangers.
That's right.
Sometimes good guys, sometimes bad guys who only work for the highest bidder, which they out and out say. And one of them is a clown by the name of Fudge Clank for some reason, because why not?
Yeah, exactly. They come up with some interesting names. Speaking of
Yep.
which, getting away from the cartoons that spun off from the Strong Bad emails, there were also a few characters that spun off as well. Like the biggest one being Sonora Cartgage.
Oh yeah,
He's been described
that
as
one started.
he's like creepy comb over Strong Bad.
Yeah, someone asked something to the extent of like, Strong Bad, what would you be if you weren't so cool? Like, how would you be if you were like a weirdo or a loser or whatever? And he said that he would still be cool. It's just that he'd just like stand behind you and eat melted candy bars really loudly or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And this made like Strong Bad envision himself as being taller, albeit having a beer gut of some sort, and Yeah, like you said, creepy comb over, scruffy goatee, and he apparently sleeps in an alley on an Aldi bag.
And he
Which,
also is one of the kings of the non sequitur. Many
yes, yes.
combinations, Elizabeth.
Yep. I hope it won't get on my particles. Yeah, so somehow this weird imaging of Strong Bad as a creepy weirdo led to the creation of Sonor Cardgage, who may or may not be his dad. I don't know. That's well, it's weird how that evolved. It's like he was an imagined spot, but then he became a full character, and he's wearing Strong Bad's mask, or Strong Bad's mask is based on his mask. I have no idea. He just
Also,
is what he is.
and he'll help you get a leg up on the pile.
And refinance your dreams.
Yeah.
Home loan, escrow, refinancing. You can talk with one of our handsome talking experts. One of them said he'd buy me lunch, but I don't see no one taking me to Chick-fil-A.
Yep, that's Sonora Card Gauge Mort Gauge.
Yep. Yeah, Sonor Card Gauge. I want to say he's probably the most relatively recurring of the not main characters because he is hilarious and weird. He was even the focus of a December Ween Tune once, which was very amusing.
Let's
At
not
that
forget.
point, he told Strongbad that he might taste away if he didn't eat more.
Let's not forget too. He
So yes.
also carries a curse. A very strange curse.
Oh yeah, there is that, isn't there?
Yes, and
Yeah, you could.
if you watch the video that shows his character, eventually the curse will strike you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just 1 minute you're sitting there and you're fine. Next minute you start talking about something, and then just out of nowhere you go tertiary.
Yeah,
It's the
it
card
is
gauge curse.
terrifying.
Of
Yes.
course, Card Gauge's character video itself is cursed because it was filmed on a used air freshener.
Yes, something like that. It just went on for like 2 or 3 hours until Sonora told Strongbed they had quote unquote run out of film somehow.
And then when
The
they
resulting tape,
ugh,
which was barfed out of Strongbad's snail mail box and played an ominous sting when he got it, apparently needed a machine known as the Brokaw Beige Most. It's so extremely beige, and it can only be gotten from Tom Brokaw's house, but they secured it somehow. And the tape was creepy.
yeah, it introduced you to the family might could.
Too many folds! Too many folds!
It was a close up of some part of his anatomy that he was making talk, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and
Yeah,
then
pretty much.
years later the card gauge curse struck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alas.
Now, not a character, but definitely something memorable was Strong Bad's creation of a chocolate bar.
Oh yeah.
Skablounch.
Yep. Oh, there are some ambitious plans for that one.
Oh yeah, because the whole thing was like you had was it cookie dough? That was
Yeah. There's that, and like entire bowls of cereal or something.
yep, and topped with rich creamy pepperoni,
Mm-hmm.
and then the old BBC boring brown chocolate.
I say.
And it was I forget. Did he make that look like a pair of half-eaten Strong Bad pants?
Yeah, it looked like pants, but there is a bite installed in them by default to make anyone think that you had already eaten it so they wouldn't eat it. It's a security measure, you see.
Yeah, and it even had its own theme song. It's like, who's got the munch? The crisp and the crunch. Living in the gutter with grandma. Coach put you in. You got to go for the win. Y2K turned out all right. Skablounched. Who's got the
Oh yeah,
money?
it's kind of like a parody of Mentos. Would you say? I don't know.
It's
Something
well,
like
the candy bar itself is a parody of all sorts of different candy bars, Baby Ruth, and
Payday and
yeah.
Mix and all that. Yeah.
But the jingle was kind of Mentos esque,
Mm-hmm. That is true.
and some of the other things they did were included the Homestar Misfitsteries or something along those lines, which was basically a parody of
Yep.
Scooby Doo.
Uh-huh. I don't want to take any chances. We should play in a band just to be safe.
Yep. And for some reason, Strong Mad and Strong Sad were always trying to emancipate Homestar from his ridiculous striped pants.
Yes. We never learn why, but they were always doing that.
Yep. But yeah, pretty spot on parody of Scooby Doo and a lot of the other Hanna-Barbera cartoons from the time. Especially the whole band thing reminded me of like Josie and the Pussycats or Archie or something like that.
Yeah. Didn't Jabberjaw have a band or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that was the style at the time.
And it was, believe me. And
Yeah.
but speaking of bands, one thing that they're pretty well known for is all these fake bands they've come up with, each, for a different musical style or genre. Their most famous one would have to be the hair metal band Limousine.
Mm-hmm. Because it's midnight.
Yep. We're talking about, these songs by Limousine actually made it into like, what was it, like Guitar Hero or Rock Band or something like that?
That is, yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
In fact, Limousine's most famous song is Because It's Midnight.
Yep.
You got the heart of a lion and the wings of the bat because it's midnight.
It's very funny. That is actually a legitimately good song, although they're a parody of hair metal, which I know Rob is not at all into.
Depends on the band, really.
Yeah, Def Leppard's good, certainly.
Yeah. Although,
Poison is not.
no, Poison is definitely not. And I can hear Sharon groaning from here.
I'm
But
sorry, Sharon. It was just the first negative example that came to mind. It is what it is.
whereas I can name a whole bunch right off the top of my head, but I'm not going to. I'll say
Yeah, it's fair.
I actually prefer the song Night Mamas over Because It's Midnight.
It is also a good one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Limousine's just a really entertaining parody of 80s rock bands. Apparently, there are four brothers, the Palleroncinis, I think it is. Their lead singer, Larry, is incredibly, and his very over-exaggerated voice, like, we couldn't get a ride home, or something like that.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, Gary, Perry, and Mary, who were at least popular enough to get a pilot for a would-be animated series, which Strong Bad has VHS recorded the only known copy ever of. And that basically involves them rocking around space, only for their manager, Teague Douglin, to tell them, I'm afraid I have some bad news, boys. And then something bad would happen, like Mitch Overlord took the last concert tickets, or Bozar, the interdimensional prankster, turns all their instruments into noodles. It had a lot of promise. Unfortunately, though, Strong Sad and his ilk, a bunch of Chuck Taylor wearing self-esteemers, which is one of my favorite insults ever. Unfortunately, with alt rock becoming a thing, made Limousine less relevant, but they will always be in Strong Bad's heart. Except for their bizarre Feed the Children's era, I guess that wasn't so popular. Yeah. I do wonder though. I realize that might be a commentary on Nirvana killed my career. How bands like Sloshy basically made bands like Limousine less relevant, but that's a whole other subject.
Sloshy strikes me as being very, very pretentious.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, they even made that song "We Don't Really Even Care About You." Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, what a bunch of hipster douchebags.
Pretty much. Of course, Strong Side adores them.
Yeah, yeah, he would. Yeah, it's kind of like the notes he don't play sort of thing, and or Toad the Wet Sprocket. Yeah, I assume so. I forget what they did for the most part. I just like their name.
If we're talking about the fictional Monty Python band, that was something. But the actual alternative group that, when their name was announced on the radio, Eric Idle almost drove off the road because he thought no one would ever use a band name like that when he wrote the Monty Python bit.
I forgot that was a Monty Python reference. Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
He even said in an interview, Eric Idle, he's like, that was the latest from Toad the Wet Sprocket, and I almost drove off the road.
Wow.
But
Well, shit.
I don't know. I never thought of Toad as being pretentious. Not like Sloshy is. Sloshy is just like, we don't really even care about you. Whereas Toad can be more, I don't know what the word is exactly, but it's like self-deprecating in a way.
Yeah. When I think pretentious, I maybe think Oasis. I don't know.
Oh, Oasis. Yeah, they got it in pretentiousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Oh, the Ton the Shadows had a very interesting train records on their third album that ruined them. You might want to watch that one at some point.
I may check that out. But
it basically rags on them for being too derivative of the Beatles to their detriment.
Reminds me of when I was listening to their first album, and my father comes in the room. He's like, "You listen to the Beatles?" Now at the time,
oh Jesus Christ!
At the time, I didn't hate the Beatles as much as I do now.
That's true, yeah.
But I was like, "No, this is a new band. They're called Oasis." I think I had the radio on and one of their songs was playing.
Today is gonna be the day.
No, before that.
That's gonna be the day today. Oh, no. Really?
Yes, this would be from their first album. You know, it was like Live Forever or something like that was playing. But
I'll be doodlebugged.
Yeah. But yeah, so Strong Sad adores Sloshy, and Strong Bad adores Limousine, and they tried to get each other into the bands. In fact, Strong Bad loved Sloshy until he found out they weren't metal.
Yep. Alas. That's how Sloshy became one of my most hated bands ever.
But if you want to talk about metal, they got that covered too. Yeah, we are Tarantula.
Yeah, a bunch of possibly German guys whose videos are all grody and gross and has lots of meat in them.
3 words. Creeping, rusty meat.
I swear that's a Tool reference of all things, though.
That actually would seem like one from what we've seen.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Tarantula themselves are probably more of a general parody of like Dimmu Borgir or that other band who's, I don't know. If Kate were here, she could give me more names than Dimmu Borgir, but
all I know is they're moving very slowly. They're
very slowly, yes.
Moving very, very slowly. You just saw a video. Let's not forget, you just saw videos from Slaughter, Winger, and the Winnie Vincent invasion.
It's just a little bit of a culture crossover. Tarantula plays the type of music that Beavis and Butthead would refer to as being slow and fat.
Yeah, like a crowbar.
That was the one they said that about, yes.
But you know who my favorite member of that band is?
Who that?
Schenkel McDoo.
Good old Schenkel. Yep.
It's like he's the only one out of the whole band He's the only one wearing a pink shirt and everything. Yeah, now here's a
Yep,
sneak
yep.
peek
I
at
can't
our new video.
I can't even remember what the other two brothers are called, but Shinkle McDoo is very JoJo Junior Shabadoo coded.
Exactly. I think one of them was like Bjornberg or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is very much of the sort of same cloth that like Death Clock is made of when parodying that sort of metal, I'd say.
Yeah, well, they're from Scandinavia. They're not German.
Yes,
They
exactly.
because Scandinavia is about the only place death metal gets you any chicks.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
Strong Bad's words, not mine.
That is true, yes.
But yeah, they take care of the whole heavy metal parody thing. So, but they also go into other stuff too, like what ended up being a throwaway gag from one of the Teen Girl Squad episodes actually spun off into its
Oh,
own thing. That would be PCP.
Careful sound. Oh, wow, oh, wow. My new
Exactly.
album drops next Thursday, you old biscuit heads.
That's him. He is not sure exactly what kind of rap he'd be, but he is that.
I want to say, I don't know. It reminds me up front of Ludacris for some reason,
Hmm.
and like other rappers come around from that time. Like, oh fuck, it's an area I can't even begin to go from. I'm just going to say Ludacris because that's the only one I can think that's remotely close.
All I know is that if you offer him enough money, he will, guest star on anything.
Yeah,
Tarantula.
absolutely. Solely shameless.
Yep. He even did a guest spot on Coach Z's rap song, and he ordered breakfast in the middle of
Which
it.
is exactly. That's surprising. I don't think he'd get paid for that, but he just shows up where he wants. He's the ultimate guest star. He was even a guest star on his own album somehow.
Exactly. But yeah, when he did the team up with Tarantula, there it was, and they even made a reference directly to the crossing rap and metal like it's early '90s, Anthrax and PE.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah, that
then
was that was a thing that happened for a while.
it was, and then they did an R&B singer too, Terrence Love,
It's love.
who
Yes.
mainly sings that his
Yeah,
name is Terrence Love.
exactly. Remainder 3. I want to say that specifically reminds me of Luther Vandross for some reason, if that's accurate to say. But again, I don't know too much about R&B, but yeah, he's Terrence Love, and
His
his
name
name
is
is
Terrence
Terrence Love,
Love.
and is exactly.
They even got a cardboard cutout of Terrence Love to perform at what was it, prom?
Yeah, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, and did they do any other like parody bands you can think of? I mean, there's been some in the actual cast themselves, like Cool Tapes we mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
But
Well, I remember that in the same email where Strong Bad mentions Limousine and Tarantula, there are two more he referenced known as Lazor and Big Knife.
hmm,
Unfortunately, we don't really learn anything about them, but they do exist, apparently.
yeah, and of course Brain Creek is a
Beyond that,
garage
I'm not
band.
sure.
Ah, but there is one more.
That is, yes.
The
Oh,
'60s
yeah.
hippie
Okay.
folk singer.
Oh, oh yeah. This is a really bizarre one to explain.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin, but it's basically this kind of long-haired dude with a mustache sitting down strumming a guitar, and the first ever song he performed went, "Stave it off, 1, 2, 3, and now you
One,
can
two,
count
three.
2,
One,
3."
two, three. That was born out of a kids show that Homestar hosted, which is also as bizarre and nonsensical as you'd expect it to be.
Well, originally they wanted to
But
know if Strong Bad would host a kids show, and that
yeah,
went about as
he
well as
laid
you
it
would
out.
expect.
Yeah, he laid that out and admitted it would be a poor idea. He'd lose his temper at everyone for not being able to find the cheat.
Okay, dumb
And
children,
he would yell
where's
at
the
them.
cheat? No,
He would yell
no.
at them that he would kill them and all of their dogs.
He's behind the
He was
box. Look, he's barely obscured by the box. Look, the cheat's behind the freaking box.
I'll kill you! I'll kill all of your dogs! So you'd see how that would be a bad idea with the angry mothers and the letter writing and the stringing me up in town square for all to see.
Yeah. So, you know who would make a...
But then he says... Go ahead.
You know who would make a good children's show host? None other than America's favorite blue midget homestar, Homestar.
Yep.
Which...
And then it leads to a show which... I don't know what it's derivative of exactly. Maybe the Teletubbies, but that's kind of a field that's beyond me for the most part.
Yeah, it's just... Well, first, you know, he does that bit about the letter G. And then it's, you know, song time. And that's where David Off Guy appears. That sure is a real popular song. Let's hear it about 60 more times. And yeah, so David Off Guy appeared, sang his song again, flipped upside down, sang it again, and then all of a sudden he starts showing up on other stuff.
Very oddly,
Yeah.
even weirder.
Like the song about come down from your crystal fortress, Strong Bad.
Uh-huh. Yep, Strongbad even referred to him as Stavey for that one.
Yep. And you don't get French fries, and you don't get French fries. Now, Strong Bad and Coach Z even teamed up for a rap about a fisheye lens.
Womp womp. Yes. Things are about to get bulbous.
Mm-hmm. But you know, there's absolutely no way we can mention famous Homestar songs without mentioning the #1 summer jam.
You mean...
Come on, Fahogwa Gods.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, man, I cannot remember crap right now.
Fahogwa Gods, come on, Fahogwa Gods. Everybody to the limit, everybody to the limit. Everybody come on, Fahogwa Gods.
Oh, yeah, Strong Bad made a summer jam out of an emailer who said, I love you, and types their name as Fahuhu. Just a random string of letters that he just shortened to Fahuhu Gods, because that was like the first 9 letters or something, like F, H, W, G, S. I forget the exact sequence. Yeah. But it's just interesting how Homestar and Strong Bad have that ability to just take something weird and hilarious outside their sphere and then turn it into an instituted running gag in their overall collective of humor. Mm-hmm. So Fahuhu Gods became that, and he made a pretty solid jam out of it somehow.
But the ultimate thing for Strong Bad, though, is actually getting his own album. Strong Bad Sings and Other Type Hits.
Yeah, it's an actual real album that you can get.
I own a copy.
I think I do too.
And it actually, you've got limousines on there, tarantulas on there. You have other stuff too, like those famous songs. You've got an ugly butt and a stupid butt, and somebody told me, and now I believe them.
Now I believe them that you were stupid.
Yep, somebody told me you were so stupid. But I didn't believe them, but now I believe them. Everybody's stupid. Everybody's stupid. Everybody's stupid but me. Yeah. And there's other songs like The Cheat Is Not Dead. And the duet that he sings. Yeah, I'm so glad The Cheat's not dead. And there's also a duet he does with Marzipan called Sensitive to Bees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cute and cute. You're the poet laureate of booze. What? Booze. Stop saying that. Which Homestar gets in on at the end. How he likes to play with trees and ants. All right, don't tell anyone I sang with you. Okay, but you can tell him I did. No thanks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it reminds me when Homestar somehow got strung bad to hug a tree that one time, just offhand.
yeah, I don't even like this tree. But there was also the, I think it was What's Her Face had a song on there. I think I have a chance with this guy.
This guy? Yes, yes. This guy. By guy.
Yep. And
Um,
once you get to the end of the album, you get the live version of Everybody to the Limit.
yeah.
And if you let it keep going after that, eventually you will come across a secret song.
The secret song. Wherever it went.
Secret song. I love you all night long. Basically, Homestar playing piano very badly, singing about this secret song. That was the secretest song on the album. And, of course, though, the album opens with the full-fledged Trogdor theme song, which features wicked dueling guitar solos. Squeedly versus Beedley over here. Go Squeedly! Go Squeedly! Squeedly wins! And there's a lot of good stuff on there, though. I mean, it's a genuinely funny album. So,
Yes.
yeah, we've kind of just scratched the surface here of what Homestar has to offer, believe it or not.
Yeah, Jiminy. What else can we even talk about?
Video games, because God knows they've made a ton of them.
Somehow, yes. Yes, good. Those guys at Videlectrics, I talk a lot about good graphics, but, they made some legit stuff too, graphics or no graphics.
Well, think of Peasant's Quest.
Yes, they made an actual fully fledged King's Quest. I almost hesitate to call it a parody because it does actually legitimately work as its own Sierra-esque adventure game. Although it's probably less obtuse than those were as well.
By Carrick, a cold one.
Don't do that. He's just going to smash you because he's a teetotaler.
Yep. And then there was their tribute to Mega Man, Stinko Man 20XC6. Which had
Interesting thing about that one, yeah.
It had the coolest first stage music, too.
Yeah, it's got a really good soundtrack all around, as most actual Mega Man games do, where, you play as Stinko Man for the most part. One level you actually play as the Homestar anime parody 1-Up, but yeah, Stinko Man shoots his gloves towards a bunch of very weird characters who all have their own names in the manual. Occasionally the genre does switch up. Like there's a escort mission where you have to protect the idiots 1-Up, but you do get a giant stone fist to block the lava, and there's another stage as just a straight up shmup level where the boss at the end is in the manual it's apparently a space octopus, but in the game it's just a floating robot gangster for some reason. And then there's the stage that's just a total glitch and takes graphics from all over the rest of the game because something just got screwed up in the actual process of it, and now everything's weird.
And they have a lot of if I remember correctly, though, that game took years to finish.
The strange thing is, for whatever reason, the final level, the 10th level of Stinko Man, was not made or finished for its time. I really don't know what happened. Maybe there's some behind-the-scenes stuff with their programmer, Jonathan Howe, that I'm not privy to. So I'm obviously not going to tap into that. Whatever happened. But amazingly, they actually did bring us the 10th and final level just a few weeks before Flash was officially decommissioned. And I'm amazed that they did that. It's an interesting sort of full circle how, the greatest thing ever made on Adobe Flash actually manages to give us one more gift before it departs. I don't know. There's something oddly poetic in that to me. I don't know.
And of course, they had a whole bunch of little, like, almost mini games practically. Like, wasn't there one where the cheat was racing inside a tire?
Yes, yes. That was also based on Speemail, where Strong Bad holds some sort of like devil stunt sort of thing. It's called Oxum Cross. That's right.
That's right, Awesome Cross. And of course, your Where's an Egg game that is representing you
Yep.
right now.
Yep, yep. The adventure title. You must attempt to deduce from context clues who stole the egg. If you guess wrong, you get into the gulag if you blow it 3 times. You could also occasionally just shoot the very first person you come to and possibly randomly win, which I have done. You practically need to do it. I'm sure there's a way to reliably speed run it, but I couldn't tell you if there's a regular way to do that. But yeah.
Plus, they've also done games based on the video games from the Strong Bad email video games, like Rhino Feeder and Secret Collect, and that the one with the vector graphics Strong Bad hit.
Yeah, the Hall Runner, I think, or something like that.
Back off, baby.
And of course, I do have to mention Strong Bad's fairly affectionate parody of text adventures known as Thy Dungeon Man.
Oh yes.
Wherein you type context. It's like you type a command to try and do something, but it doesn't work. Like you say, "Get ye flask," and then the game tells you you can't get ye flask, and you just have to sit there wondering why on earth you cannot get ye flask.
Because the game's
not going to tell you, and there aren't any graphics to help you either. Graphics schmaphics, forsooth.
And don't forget, your obvious exits are north, south, and Dennis.
Oh yeah, good old Dennis, that mischievous scamp. There was actually 2 Dungeon Man sequels. The second one was very much like the first, but the third one amazingly had Thy Graphics.
Yes.
It was debated as to whether or not this was an accepted entry of the Dungeon Man series or not among the fan base. It turned out to be controversial, but to some they say it's the greatest one, so there is that.
Isn't that the one where he finally got the E-Flask?
You can also get E-Flask as well, yes. It's, like I said, it might be sacrilege for some, but, no, I thought it was bold.
Personally, I thought they should have taken all these games and actually released them on, like, a physical disc or something like that. Or put them on Steam or something.
There's actually... Yeah, absolutely. There's actually some pretty fun stuff in there, but,
yeah. Didn't happen.
A commercial game was based on Homestar, however. It was actually made by Telltale Games back in their heyday when they were, or at least when I thought they were going to be LucasArts 2.0 before they didn't exactly go in that direction. But yes, Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people, or Spasforgap, was an actual 5-episode series of adventure games where Strong Bad has to go through different situations and get through whatever is happening in Free Country, USA. Like, it starts out but relatively straightforward, with the first episode being an athletic competition that Strong Bad has to, of course, rig and defeat Homestar at. Then the second one is Strong Badia the Free, where he has to defend his sovereignty against the king of town, while everyone else has their own nation. My favorite is the Homestar reservation, personally.
Of course.
And then the third episode is a battle of the bands, where almost everyone else has a band, and unfortunately, Strong Bad only has the KOT and Homsar left. Everyone else is on something. Like, there's cool tapes in the 2-0 duo and all that. And Strong Sad's security, and he keeps buzzing Strong Bad for taser, so that's nice. And then the fourth episode, the all Oh, fuck me. We forgot to describe Dangeresque.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, anyway, Dangeresque is like
Hey,
a
hey,
series
excuse
of.
yourself, man.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I've been gassy all night. I don't know what the fuck's up with
And I'll tell you
that.
what, this.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, he finally films the third part of the third movie of Dangerous, and you basically have to play it like it is a detective action film, except it's also very poorly made, and they didn't even fully program in a monster, so it's just strong sad in a some sort of would be CGI suit,
Which is
and
basically what the first two Dangeresques are like, anyway.
extremely hilariously cheap, yes.
Yes.
And the final episode has Trogdor actually break out of an arcade machine and into real life, which infects Free Country and turns everyone and everything into a video game figure of some sort. It has been a while since I played. I just remember that Strong Sad was simultaneously made into a princess and the evil wizard Sloosh Foond, which yeah, that one gets especially wacky. I would say that each episode is arguably better than the one before it, but it does maintain the humor of the site for the most part. It goes into a couple of ideas which I'm not sure how canon they are in the long run, but I guess it doesn't matter. I had a real fun time with it. I forget if it's available to actually get anywhere anymore because the impermanence of digital media is something part of our current cyberpunk hellscape we're trapped in, but I
Yeah.
digress.
Uh,
Um,
I will say this. Speaking of Trogdor in the arcade game, there is an actual Trogdor arcade game you can play on the site. At least there used to be.
yes,
Basically, you play as
yeah, at some
Trogdor,
point.
and your job is to go ahead and burninate all the thatched roof cottages that the peasants live in, and try and light them on fire too, and try not to get killed by the
Uh-huh.
knights.
Those jerks.
Also, something else to mention: they actually released two actual Game Boy games in ROM format. There was,
That's right.
yeah, what was it, Marzipan's Beef Restorer or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was a
Yeah.
Trogdor game. But
Yep.
you can download those for free if you have a flash cart for the Game Boy or whatnot. You can throw them on there and play them just like they were actual Game Boy games.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that,
It's pretty
and
neat.
they've done a few more graphic adventures too, like that Halloween one that one time.
Oh yeah, the Halloween hide and seek, where everyone
Hmm.
was actually dressed up as a character from an actual adventure game. Homestar himself, God damn it, I already forgot off the top of my head. Wasn't he someone from like Quest for Glory or whatever? Shit.
I don't know.
Well, my brain's crapping out, but I just remember the cheat was Willie Beamish. Strong Bad was Sludge Vohall from the Space Quest series. My favorite costume was Strong Sad as Mike Dawson from the Darkseid duology.
Oh,
I
jeez.
cannot believe they fucking referenced Darkseid of all things. That is amazing.
Yeah.
God, those games are. Well, the first one's weird and interesting, if not overly brutal. The second one is just a carnival clown show of what? I don't know how better to put it.
But as far as anything else Homestar related that's important enough to discuss, well, let's see. There is Puppet Homestar.
Yep. They have turned Homestar into an actual puppet and have had him interact with what I'm sure is like the brothers chap's nieces or whatever. And even there was also a puppet Strong Bad, and the both of them had uh, hijinks happen in the corporate setting where Homestar Puppet Homestar got really drunk and was like, did you catch that whatever last night? I'm sorry, my brain's kind of crapping out a bit. I just remember a line that Puppet Homestar said in the corporate setting. Hey, did Mancuso from the county put the 3-hole punch in the microwave again? That guy sucks.
Yeah, there was also something they appeared on. There is a musician named Callie Kazoo, and she did a cover of Burning Down the House, which Puppet, Homestar, and Strong Bad appeared on. And they eventually changed it to...
I don't think I actually remember that.
Really? Oh, they eventually changed it to Burninate the House.
Nice.
So, I would look it up if I was able to and post the link. But maybe I'll just include that in the video description later. So you can always check it out.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. But it's amazing just how much the Brothers Chaps have actually spread Homestar through all sorts of different things. Really is.
Yeah.
Stuff that you wouldn't even expect.
Oh, like what?
Well, that for one.
Yeah. But what else?
Let's see. Of course, their friendship, but they might be giants, and leading to them doing the video for experimental film. Let's see. No, basically, I don't mean that they've gone into different areas, but just that they've referenced so much through Homestar Runner that it's just kind of crazy how much stuff they've actually done. All their spoofs and parodies, and they even at one point there's a pizza place called the Mellow Mushroom, who started in Georgia.
Oh, yeah, no, this is crazy. Go on.
Yeah. So the Mellow Mushroom, I've eaten there once. Their pizza's not bad. That was years ago, though. For a while, they had actually commissioned the Brothers Chaps to go ahead and do a website for them, which had Flash cartoons similar to Homestar Runner. And I don't even think that is available to view anywhere anymore. Unless someone saved them all and put them up on YouTube, I couldn't tell you. But just the fact that it actually existed, and there was something else out there they'd worked on that wasn't Homestar related, and was the first of what eventually led them into working on mainstream cable shows for kids, something on the Disney Channel, for example.
Yeah, I know there's a show by the name of the Aquabats that they were actually very heavily involved in.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen it, but I've heard it was actually very fun. The Aquabats Super Show. I should make it a point to get to that sometime.
Yeah, that's half the reason they stopped doing Homestar Runner, if I remember correctly, because they were moving on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I should note that, for better or worse, around the end of 2009, almost poetically enough, that was pretty much around the time that Homestar, throughout much of the 2000s, almost constantly, every week there were updates. Almost often a new Strong Bad email, sometimes a full-fledged tune, something from Cheat Commandos or whatever. There was always also fan art submissions and sketches from their own pile of ideas that they all had some amusing things for. And they were keeping the site constantly updated until near the end of 2009. Like you said, they did have to move on to other things. I specifically remember that the point where the updates stopped happening regularly was, I believe, Matt and his wife Jackie were having a child, so understandably they had to slow things down for that. I was a little saddened that they never really came back from that, but like you said, they went on to bigger and better things, probably more profitable. I mean, Homestar has obviously been a labor of love for the Brothers Chaps, but aside from all the profits they make from their store merch,
they did. They
I imagine. What's that?
So they cleaned up from that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can only get so much out of that. So, like I said, they've been longtime creatives and they threw themselves into other things. I want to say they worked on Gravity Falls, which is a great series I would gladly recommend to anyone, of course. But Homestar had its major time for the lion's share, pretty much the entirety of the 2000s. And then when the 2010s rolled around, Homestar didn't exactly go away, but he did slow down majorly. However, creative stuff still came out of there, like the Trogdor board game, like
Hmm.
you mentioned. I think Vast for Gap was not out until after the major hiatus happened. Let me see. Strong Bad's cool game. Oh no, wait, I am wrong. It started in 2008 while it was still being active.
Yeah.
So nuts to that on my part. But yeah, most notably, Homestar almost always, at least comes back from Halloween because they really like the thing about Halloween tunes is that all the characters are dressed as various characters from any sort of freaking media you can think of,
Hmm.
and there are some really deep reaches in there that I am still astounded by.
Now, on the flip side, some of the more die-hard fans of the series, and this is actually still going on, dress up as Homestar characters for Halloween and then submit their pictures to the Brothers Chaps, who proceed to have Strong
Yeah,
Bad
and
make fun of them.
yes, the Fanstooms roster that Strong Bad likes to go upon. It's yeah, I
Look, it's the Cheats Hot
they've had
Mom,
some.
dressed as the Cheats Hot Mom.
Uh-huh. I remember that there was a woman who dressed up as Hot Homestar, and Strong Bad had the hugest freak out ever as a result of it.
Yeah, and there was also the one, in one email, there was a girl that wrote him saying that her and her girlfriends wanted to come meet them in Strong Bad, maybe meet up for pizza. Do you have a pizza place? And Strong Bad kind of flipped out and ended up inadvertently founding his own pizza joint, which was originally going to be called Strong Badian Pizza. But no. That's too long. You have to strike while the girl is still hot. That'd be you know. And he cut to a teen girl SWAT thing where you have Daphne was the girl who wrote in, and she's standing there in her
Mm-hmm.
towel, and she's like, "Hey gals, let's towel up. Let's towel off and meet up at Strong Bad. This is taking too long. I'm already bored. I belong in a museum."
Yep.
So he wanted to do this to get these girls to visit, but inadvertently ended up actually founding a legitimate pizza place, a well-reviewed one at that, called The Piz.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, all he got was Homestar and the King of Town.
Oh well.
And then he decided
That's
that
how it.
girls don't want to meet people in real life; they want to meet them online, which led to virtualpiz.biz, which got a low review. Wait, you're not
Every
Daphne.
time
You're pizza trolls.
I play more, and then he actually sets them on fire.
Yeah. But yeah, so one of the fan steams actually had a woman dressed as the Piz waitress or delivery driver or something. Strong
Mm-hmm.
Bad's only response to that was, "You're hired, you're hired, you're hired, you're hired, you're hired, you're hired."
Yeah, they've had some really creative and outside the box stuff. The fans have even gotten into some real strange references. Like, I think there was one that was based off of a sketchbook of what a human version of Gunhaver would look like. And, like, Strong Bad was really astounded and thought that the person who did that was also probably a huge dork, if I'm not mistaken. But,
He thinks a lot of these people
uh,
are.
yeah, that is true. Lovingly so. Again,
Yeah.
that's it's all in a good jest. But
And it's like that one guy who dressed up as Crack Stuntman.
yes, they did do that. Like again, there are some Homestar devotees who can reference just about any in joke, any one off that you can think of. Like my brain is starting to rust a bit at this hour, but like like I have joked before that
if I don't have a Simpsons quote or a Rush lyric to dispense, I'll probably at least have a Homestar quote, if nothing else,
And
to give ya.
I'd like to actually kind of close out the stream by discussing one of my favorite cartoons that they did. Mr.
Yeah, of
Poofers
course.
Must Die.
Yes, that's one of my favorite Halloween things.
What a great cloud with legs Mr. Poofers is. Miffa Miffa Minka Moo. That's apparently how he barks. Thing is, no matter what, Homestar couldn't kill him. And neither could Strong Sad or Marzipan. And finally, you had to leave it up to the experts, Strong Bad. And he couldn't do it either. So they just had to accept Mr. Poofers as their new Dark Overlord.
Yep, that was for the best. It actually kind of reminds me of Rob, I don't know if you know anything about the SCP mythos, perhaps.
SCP. Explain. Maybe it'll come back to me.
It's kind of like a fictional database of cases of bizarre anomalies, many of them rooted in horror, that are dangerous and need to be contained, or else they could do some serious damage. Like I think the one that really took off was that one with that creepy looking statue that if you blink it snaps your neck or something like that, kind of like a Weeping Angels sort of deal. And it just sort of became this like huge database of entries of these anomalies, like a bizarre video of Ronald Reagan getting mutilated by an invisible force, or a Jerry Lee Lewis concert that may not have happened and people were murdered at by, strange aliens or whatever. Weird shit like that. I always kind of thought that Mr. Poofers was sort of like a lighthearted take. Like, he's this benign but invincible anomaly that just makes everyone's brains go to mush whenever they try to tell a story about him. And, no, they can't kill him. He is unassailable. It is what it is. Hail, Mr. Poofers. He will be eternal long after everything else has crumbled into dust, or something like that.
You have to admit he's pretty friggin' adorable.
Oh, yeah, there's no denying that. I pretty much have to admit that. Like, literally, I can't not.
Of course, now that I've thought about Mr. Poofers, I have to think about the other dog that's been referenced on the series.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, we didn't touch on that, did we?
No, Strong Bad. You know the storm this will bring. I'm Lil Brother.
No! Little brother. He's just such a great little guy. He's got the heart of a champion. He just has the one leg and he just keeps on going and I can't take it. Little brother, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Are you maybe thinking about getting into male modeling or maybe hyphenates? I just don't know.
Yeah, Lil Brother is this drawing that Strong Bad came up with. It basically features the most pathetic looking dog you'd ever see with one leg. And his body's laying on the ground, he's drooling, and, oh, it's okay, little brother, you're gonna make it. And the challenge was to get Homestar to cry. But then he starts...
that was the premise of this female, right?
Yeah, and he starts showing the picture to everybody else, like the cheat and whatnot, and Cheat starts crying, and Strong Sad's like, Strong Bad, do you consider me to be Lil Brother? No. I think you is more of a two-legged elephant named Tenderfoot.
I can power a small city with my whining.
Exactly.
I probably could.
Yeah, I'd love to leave this all off with a little dance by the Dancing Brothers.
Yes.
Glenn,
you know them. You love them.
Glenn, Mart Bell, and the Killer Dynamo.
I'm gonna have a good time tonight. I'm gonna have a good time tonight.
Well, I think we had a good time tonight. I hope you all did too.
Hey, that was a nice transition.
Yep. So that is it for Homestar. Next week we're going to be coming back with Jay, and we are going to be doing a stream about the greatest band in the history of forever. And if anyone says otherwise, I don't like you anymore. Yes, next week.
Takes his music very seriously.
That's why I very rarely talk about music with anybody. I have very strong opinions. Yeah, Mo, you made it to the end.
Oh, wow. Mo's been here with us to the end. Hey, thank you so much.
Hopefully,
I realized we forgot to talk about Marzipan's answering machine, but we've already went over so much ground. I just wanted to mention that.
I hope, if nothing else, this has inspired you to go to homestarrunner.com and actually look up some of the stuff we've been talking about.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you for hanging on too, Sharon. I gather that Homestar is not your favorite thing in the world, but I appreciate it very much.
To be fair, she's barely ever watched it.
Yes, that is true. I can't believe that I was the one that actually told you about that. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Little team me did that. Son of a bitch. And here we are now.
Yes.
And yeah.
Mo is one of the few here that actually knows how opinionated I can be about music.
Yeah, that is true. Yes. And yes, Tex, it is very much worth visiting. I should definitely do a run back over most of it. It has been a while myself, but so much of Homestar is just institutionalized into my brain. Even when they stopped updating regularly, I never stopped being a fan, and it will, again, they're not doing it full time anymore, but once in a blue moon you'll get something out of the desk of Homestar or Strong Bad, and it will be great, and I will always relish it, and it always feel like a nice gift whenever they pop up.
Excellent.
And Mo, I was going to say, Mo, fan of Rush, yes, we already like you very much. For other reasons, but that is a huge bonus. So
I've known Mo forever, so at least it feels like forever. Hard to believe it's only been about 15, 17 years.
Son of a bitch, yeah.
Yeah, we worked together once at a place that I will not name.
Yes.
Oh, but we both have many stories about this place.
Oh, yeah, I've heard several of them. Crazy shit.
But, yeah, so next week, we're talking Rush. So if you don't like Rush, go find something else to do or something. Because we don't need that kind of negativity in our lives.
Yes. Oh, Sharon's also a fan of Rush. Good. Excellent.
Oh, I could have told you that.
Well, we will definitely be praising him up the branches wherever we can. We will, however, have to admit that they didn't always hit. Yeah. Yes. Hey, close enough. It'll work.
Exactly.
They didn't always bat 1,000. We will have to note points where their over has not been so favorable.
Dog ears.
Yeah, red lenses. But Sharon, which ones do you have? If either of you know, I mean, again, I can talk about their albums piece by piece.
If I recall correctly, I think she has Presto, Roll the Bones, and maybe Counterparts.
Oh, the late 80s, early 90s set. Very nice. That's a peculiar era for them. I like it a lot.
Love Counterparts, but we're not there yet.
Yes.
We're going to keep going on a weekly basis until we've run out of stream ideas. Then we'll slow it back down.
We struck a good vein of good concepts that Rob wants to roll with, and I'm pretty much psyched for nearly all of them. There's one that I can't contribute as much to, and I have to do my research on like I did the 80s cartoons one, but I'm looking forward to see what we get out of that as well.
And I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks we're able to do a Mega Man roundtable.
Yes.
I need to get in touch with someone, though, and see if he's still going to be available.
I think I know who. Yes.
Ha! See, I was right. Wow.
is
You are breaking up
one
like
of
crazy, Mike.
your site, it looked like it fucked out in your end for a bit on the
No,
YouTube
it was
feed.
that was perfectly green on the OBS end over here.
Piss. Looks like
Hasn't
things are getting iffy on my end.
Yeah, it hasn't even wavered. But yes, we are
There's
going to be
probably
doing.
some Discord. Sorry.
Yeah. No, we are definitely going to be doing a Mega Man stream where we mainly talk about the classic series and maybe a little bit of Mega Man X.
I mean, I could talk about Legends and Zero too.
If you want to bring them up, you can, but don't expect a lot of time to be devoted to them.
We'll see how far we get the classic series and what our guest wants to discuss beyond that. I think that would be the best way to handle it.
And I will say that we have basically streams planned out until October. The first of which that we're going to be discussing in October is one I've been talking about up for a while now. We're doing Evil Dead. That is the perfect time to do it.
You better believe it, damn it.
Groovy.
Yeah, we don't even mean the original trilogy either. We'll go over the 2013 film, the Ash vs. Evil Dead series, and shit. Neither of us saw Rise yet, did we?
No, I need to rectify that.
Yeah, I know a friend of ours was very disappointed in it, but we might have different opinions. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, though, we have some other ones. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. So be back with us next week, 9 o'clock Eastern time, for the Rush stream. Not a round table.
The Rush table. Close enough.
Yeah, the Rush table. Yeah, with all the YYZs and subdivisions you can handle.
Yes, and thank you, Zombie. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Snarv. Thank you, Mo.
Yes, thank you all for coming in.
Yes, Brandon and Jay and anyone else who's watching, we appreciate your patronage very much.
Especially for staying this whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. This felt like a little bit more of a somewhat niche, somewhat more slightly inside-ish subject, because I know, like, Homestar's reach maybe isn't as widespread as, like, 80s tunes or some of the movies or games we've talked about, but it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm glad we got to share that warmth with you, so, yeah, glad you had fun.
So, alright, we'll hopefully see all you next week.
Yep, y'all take care, stay safe, don't do anything I wouldn't do, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, and don't forget to write. Alright, everyone, have a fun.
Enjoy.